Floor. Lisa Brady, Fox News. As the longest-serving party leader in U.S. history, Mitch McConnell announces he'll retire at the end of his 7th term, telling fellow senators it's been the honor of a lifetime.
Regardless of the political storms that may wash over this chamber during the time I have remaining, I assure our colleagues that I will depart with great hope for the endurance of the Senate as an institution.
The Kentucky Republican would have been up for re-election next year. He's faced criticism from some fellow Republicans for voting against several Trump cabinet nominees. The Senate is set to vote today on FBI Director nominee Kash Patel. At least one Republican, Susan Collins of Maine, has said she'll vote against him. The bodies of 4 slain hostages are back in Israel, released by Hamas today, including a family with the youngest hostage.
32-year-old mother and wife Sherry Bibas and her 2 sons, 4-year-old Ariel and 9-month-old Kafir. Husband and father Yarden Bibas was also captured but released alive earlier this month. Hamas claimed without evidence the family was killed in an Israeli airstrike. For the nation, the plight of the Bibas family embodied the suffering of all the hostages.
Fox's Greg Palcott in Tel Aviv. The body of an 83-year-old peace activist was also released. The Israeli Prime Minister's office says his remains have been positively identified now and that he was killed by militants in captivity. 6 living hostages are scheduled to be released Saturday. Canada is now designating 7 transnational criminal groups as terrorist organizations. The public safety minister is saying it'll help keep fentanyl off the streets and from entering the U.S. President Trump has pressed Canada to do more on fentanyl to avoid tariffs. America is listening to Fox News.
During tax season, your info travels lots of places you can't control.
W-2 arriving from payroll platform 3.
Everything criminals need to steal your identity is on your W-2.
Last call for accountant at home office, 1 minute.
LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points per second.
Tax preparation data centers with service to IRS. All aboard.
If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Why pay more for prescriptions? Stop overpaying and start saving with SingleCare. It's easy. Find your prescription on singlecare.com, show the coupon at the pharmacy, and start saving. SingleCare works at pharmacies nationwide and is completely free to use, whether you have insurance or not. So the next time you fill a prescription, check SingleCare to make sure you're getting the best price. Take control of your prescription costs. Go to singlecare.com or download the free app today.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
It is just plain cold. Air direct from the Arctic, 18 for the high. Tonight, clear and cold down to 5. Friday, sunny skies, very cold start, 28 Friday afternoon, 15 Friday night. Gets a little better over the weekend. Saturday, sunny, 38 in the afternoon. Sunday, sunny and 48. Monday, 58. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon for the Doctors of Ophthalmology Associates. I depend on them for eye care, and they have an announcement. They're pleased to welcome Dr. Samuel Berry to their practice. Dr. Berry is a cornea surgeon, and he has the latest knowledge and techniques for advanced eye care and treatment in the field. So what do we call them now? The doctors? No, just the best doctors to see for your best vision. In St. Louis, you can reach them at 314-966-5000. They've treated more than 250 doctors, more than any others in the practice. Now, if you need help with dry eye, LASIK surgery, maybe you have glaucoma, macular degeneration. I had an eye disease when I was just 25 years old, so my eyes are very important to me. You get the absolute best care with the Doctors of Ophthalmology Associates. Doctors Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Bersati, Andy Royer, and now Dr. Samuel Berry. 314-966-5000 or visit youridoc.com. They have a great location just off Manchester Road, a half mile west of 270. Ophthalmology Associates.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer? Can we sleep cooler? Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side, your Sleep Number setting. And now save 50% on the new Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Limited time. Exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
This is attorney Todd Nissenholtz of Kaufman Townsley. We know the loss and the cost of an accident because when an insurance company offers a lowball settlement, we go to war for you and take the fight to the insurance company. Call 314-500-5000.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how linking to the market is much safer than owning the market for your retirement savings. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go to retirementkey.com.
Get a $15 O'Reilly Auto Parts gift card after rebate and receive 2 times O reward points when you buy 5 quarts of Castrol Edge full synthetic motor oil. Visit your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store or O'ReillyAuto.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
You need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Welcome to the Annie Fry Show. It's Thursday. We're happy that you're here with us, 12:07 in St. Louis. Good show that we've got lined up for you. We're going to be speaking with Hans von Spakovsky in about 20 minutes from now. And I think we're going to be talking to him about how the Trump administration is able to rework a little bit the court system, or maybe some of those attorneys that are placed across the country, considering that there was news out just yesterday. Rochelle Odd-Crow, she used to be a senator, state senator in Illinois. She stepped down and had been appointed to be the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of Illinois. So this is from the Belleville News-Democrat. When Rochelle Odd-Crow stepped out of the Senate to accept this appointment, Senator Erica Harris, then just Erica Harris, not just Erica Harris, she's wonderful. She was on the county board in Madison County. She ran for that seat. She won that seat, and she's one of very few people in the last maybe 6 to 8 years in the state of Illinois who's taken a blue seat and flipped it red. And Erica Harris was able to do that because Rochelle Odd-Crow vacated her Senate seat for this position. So the Belleville News-Democrat reported that Rochelle Odd-Crow, the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of Illinois, was terminated by President Donald J. Trump and the administration. The move was made Monday under the Vacancies Reform Act, which allows removal of officials that are appointed by the White House. Allie Summers, first assistant in the United States Attorney's Office, is the acting U.S. Attorney for now. Odd-Crow, a Democrat, was appointed U.S. Attorney in 2022 by then-President Joe Biden. She resigned her elected seat in the Illinois Senate's 56th district to take the job. Summers, who has now been appointed to be the acting U.S. Attorney, is the chief federal law enforcement official in the Southern District of Illinois. She became an assistant U.S. Attorney in 2012. Summers worked as criminal chief of the Violent Crimes Unit just before joining the United States Attorney's Office. Summers was a law clerk, a former U.S. District and Chief Judge of the U.S. District Court of the Southern District of Illinois. So I just thought, what an interesting situation we have right here in Southern Illinois. You don't hear very many things that are affected in the state of Illinois when it comes to Republicans getting a leg up. But due to that appointment that existed when Joe Biden was the presidency, since he appointed her, Donald Trump unappointed her. So we're going to talk to Hans von Spakovsky about that, not so specifically, but broadly as well. Kash Patel getting a confirmation vote right now in the Senate. We could know by the end of the hour if Kash Patel is confirmed as the FBI director, and I don't believe that we have any reason to think that he's not going to actually manage to land that confirmation vote once all things are said and done. Also, at 1:25, I was just talking to Ryan a little bit about this before the show started here. But Doge is the big thing, right? Everybody is paying attention to what Doge is doing, and it's amazing that it's kind of the lead right now on what people are talking about. Here's Elon Musk talking about the purpose behind the efforts.
I really want to emphasize to people that this is a very important point. If we don't solve the deficit, there won't be money for medical care. There won't be money for Social Security. We either solve the deficit, or all we'll be doing is paying debt. It's got to be solved, or there's no medical care, there's no Social Security, there's no nothing. It's got to be solved. It's not optional. America will go bankrupt if this is not done. That's why I'm here.
That's one of the most bipartisan things, I think, that has come of this election cycle, of the Trump administration, the partnership with Elon Musk to do what needs to be done in order to weed out the fraud, the waste, and the abuse. Because people of every political walk of life know that their tax dollars are being wasted. They know that there are tax dollars that are being laundered through some system that lines all the right people's pockets on the way to do something that sounds really nice and fluffy and sweet and sunny. It's very obvious that tax dollars are being used in ways that don't actually benefit the taxpayer. People understand that. We said this yesterday. We talked a little bit about this yesterday. I asked you guys, I said, are you more surprised at the results of what Doge is uncovering, or are you more surprised at the unfettered transparency of everything that is transpiring? Of course, Elon Musk, who owns X, there's an X account for like every agency where Doge is investigating. You can follow second by second the type of nonsense that they're uncovering. And, you know, Ryan, you said that you were more surprised by the actual material that's being discovered. And then we talked a little bit more about it, and it was from a caller who called into the show, and they said they want names. There's fraud that's taking place. They want names, and they want repercussions.
That's phase 2. This is phase 1 that we're in right now, and everybody can see the writing on the wall, because I don't know that everybody knew there was a lot of waste. I don't know that people knew that it would be this easy to find that much waste. So everybody's kind of bracing for, gosh, if this is the first couple weeks, you know, what happens in a few more months? How deep does this go? And then if it goes that deep, well, then the next phase would be, well, who's this going to? And everybody's kind of waiting for that next shoe.
And I think that if anybody thinks that this is just going to turn into like, oh, we're going to get all the Democrats, it's not going to be that way. Don't you want to know who's in on the grift?
Oh my gosh, yes. I don't know that I've ever wanted to see that happen more. I mean, like politically, this could be the biggest thing that happened in our lifetime.
Because of what Elon Musk just said there, which is we go bankrupt as a country. If all we ever do is work to pay off our debt, we're toast.
Yeah, it's a great point, because obviously this is something that hangs over every conversation we ever have. Every political back and forth we have over, well, should we have a social program, should we not? Well, none of it matters if you don't deal with this issue.
Lee Zeldin, who's running the EPA, and this is where we're going to get to our guest, Thomas. He writes for the Free Beacon. Thomas Catenacci is going to talk to us about some work that he's done uncovering some of the dirty deeds, allegations, I suppose, but with a lot of facts behind them. Lee Zeldin is going to talk about how does the system work.
Doge is making us better. They're making us more efficient, more helping us to be more accountable to the American taxpayer. They're doing good work. And it's not something where Doge is coming and saying this is what has to get done at your agency. It's, hey, here are our ideas. And they come up with great recommendations, and we can make a decision to act on it. I think it's been fantastic so far. And while Senator Markey was at our front door, I was out in Los Angeles at these sites of these fires where EPA is actually doing our mission, where President Trump gave us 30 days to remove hazardous material, and we're crushing it on the ground, and he's at the front door. Who's stopping the work is that type of activity at our front door, distracting our people from getting the core mission done.
So the EPA administrator, Lee Zeldin, is highlighting what's been said before, which is you have Elon Musk. They're like tossing everything up for Congress to take a big swing at and get it the heck out of here. And they're very good at it. The technological brain of Elon Musk, in my opinion, is what has been missing from this process this whole time. It's not like Elon Musk has some sort of sage wisdom about himself that he's now looking at these things and making these decisions. He even knows how to find it. And I'm pretty sure that the people who have taken advantage of the system knew how to hide it.
Oh, yeah.
And when you put in somebody who gets to go beep, boop in a computer, figure out some sort of algorithm or code that goes to find anomalies or to weed out some of this corruption, when you can find it because you understand computers the way and computing the way Elon Musk understands it and his people understand it, now all of a sudden your magnifying glass becomes much more efficient. And he's been able to do that in a way that has found these things. I have not yet heard one thing that has been listed by President Trump, Elon Musk, listed on X, listed on some sort of news report. I haven't yet heard one thing where somebody said, and it was $25 million to blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, that kind of makes sense to me. Not a single time.
No. In fact, I think during one of the many, many press conferences that the president and Elon Musk have had, some of them together, he said in one of them that Elon Musk, they both own businesses, right? That at some point you analyze your business and you go, where can we cost cut here? Because we're a little bit bloated. It's what every business does. And you find out of 100 things, you go, maybe we could cut these one or two and get things back on track. President Trump says the exact opposite. They're looking through 100 items and they're finding one or two that they might keep because that's how much crap there is in all these things, all these agencies.
When you're listening to Democrats push back against Elon Musk, I mean, they're doing to Elon Musk what they have successfully to an extent. I mean, they've definitely been a hindrance, an obstacle for Donald Trump over the years that he's been in the political eye. They're doing to Elon Musk the same thing, which is they're just trying to beat the drum very repetitively, saying Elon Musk bad, Elon Musk bad, Elon Musk evil, Elon Musk Nazi. I mean, all the same stuff. They all the cards in the deck against Elon Musk are the same cards that they played, like I said, somewhat successfully against Donald Trump. Ironically, though, when Donald Trump gets at the end of the card game, draws the inside straight, and beats you at your own game, he's even bigger and stronger and more efficient than he ever could have been if they just would have tried to beat him with policy. If they just would have said, we've got better ideas than he does, instead of he's evil, he's Hitler, he's Nazi, he's an orange Satan. And people are like, oh, well, that's bad. I don't want to be attached to that. So they gave Joe Biden 4 years and they realized this sucks. This is not for me. And they're like, I'm gonna take my chances with the other guy. Like literally, they called him the other guy. They couldn't say his name. Trump. Now they're trying to do it with Elon Musk, and people are like, I kind of like what he's doing.
The other thing that's interesting about the resistance, if you want to call it that, is that the more they resist, the more they keep these things in the headlines because people love drama. It's very dramatic. There's this big fight happening. So whenever they're yelling about all of the cutting that's happening, well, then people are more apt to pay attention to the cutting and see what it is. And so far, it's done nothing but work in Trump's favor.
Like I said, have you heard anything?
No.
Anything listed where you're like, well, that really makes sense to me. Like, I haven't heard any $30 million to go to save baby girls from abortion in China.
Or just some cause that's, somewhat noble. These things are the opposite of anything even anybody would care about.
Well, our YouTube live chat poll for today, when I'm talking about the materialistic, the facts that are coming to light right now, the actual information that we're getting, that's one thing. Transparency is on the other side of this administration, which is really why I believe that the public has been with Trump so much, because he's speaking directly to them. All of the time, he's speaking directly to them. Donald Trump was on Air Force One, and the question about Fort Knox came up.
We're going to go into Fort Knox to make sure the gold is there.
Are they going to?
You know that we're going to go into Fort Knox. Do you know about that?
Sir,
That was a bad bump.
are they going to eliminate more national security positions, civilians there?
We'll see what happens. But one of the things we do want to look, I mean, we hope everything's fine with Fort Knox, but we're going to go to Fort Knox, the fabled Fort Knox, to make sure the gold is there.
Where would the gold have gone?
If the gold isn't there, we're going to be very upset.
If gold isn't there, we're going to be very upset. Oh, man. So that person in the background says, like, what are you going to do if it's not there? Which is my question.
That's what everybody wants to know.
That's what I want to know. Like, gosh, I'm like, transparency. Don't tell us that.
I hear you.
Just go to Menendez's house. He's not there.
Yeah, go in his coats.
Get the gold bars out of the coats and just start putting them on the shelf one at a time. I don't know. I'm like researching Fort Knox. I'm reading Forbes. To quote Donald Trump, if the gold isn't there, we're going to be very upset.
Fair to say.
It's going to have a bunch of Trump coins. Stacking them up in there.
I tell you what, those Trump coins are going to go up in value if the gold's all gone.
Well, that's our YouTube live chat poll for today. Is the gold at Fort Knox? Yes or no? This is kind of a long-time conspiracy theory, right?
It's one that I've not really heard of until recently, though. I know people have said this.
Hasn't Rand Paul been saying for a long time, too?
Well, apparently Mike Lee has said he wants to go to Fort Knox, and they said no.
It's been a thing for a long time.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I'm waiting for National Treasure to do a movie about going to Fort Knox.
Yeah,
the gold is gone, but it's in a ship at the bottom of the ocean, and they got to go find it.
Lee Zeldin is going to find it.
Lee Zeldin needs to steal the Declaration of Independence.
You know what? Lee Zeldin could be a Temu Nick Cage.
He could be a what?
Temu Nick Cage.
A Temu Nick Cage. Okay. I follow you.
Don't buy things on Temu, people. No. It's like why we're all like, oh, don't do TikTok. China takes all your info. You know why everything's so cheap on Temu? My understanding is it's because you're selling them all of your information when you're buying cheap stuff, and it collects things exactly the same way TikTok does.
The problem is, today, Nick
the
Cage
problem
is a Temu Nick Cage.
He's always been.
I guess so.
Part of his charm. I like Nick Cage. I'm a Nick Cage fan.
I do too. He makes like 15 movies a year, though.
But Nick Cage is like cool with it. He doesn't seem to me to be unaware. He seems
true.
Like he gets it. Let's take a quick break. Hans von Spakovsky is going to come on and talk to us here in just a couple of minutes. We're going to ask him about the Kash Patel confirmation vote. What's about to happen? White House, Senator Whitehouse is talking on that. I can't think of anything I'd like to listen to less than Sheldon. Is it Sheldon Whitehouse?
Yeah.
Speak about anything. Adam Schiff was before him, and I think I'd prefer death. I don't know. I don't know.
Think about this.
I was just saying. I don't know. I'm gonna go cross-eyed here trying to figure it out. Let's find out how the Trump administration remakes the court systems. We'll be right back.
I'll see how your tension builds. It's like looking in
This is the Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on X at Annie Fry Show.
Can we focus on the love? Paint my kiss across your chest. If you're the art, I'll be the brush.
STS Armory online at sts-armory.com, and their brand new location in Pontoon Beach, Illinois. Yeah, they were in Pontoon Beach, but now they have a new nice place that they designed themselves. This is just a made-to-order place for STS Armory. And so if you're looking to get your business of your firearms done somewhere, and you want to go somewhere that loves to see you, that understands the ins and outs of the Second Amendment in Illinois. It kind of sucks. It's not STS Armory's fault. They're doing everything they can to make sure that you are equipped to protect yourself, of course, in the confines of state law. And you can start there. You can start your process there. Your FOID card, you want to go get a FOID card. Is it unconstitutional? Debatable. But you still need one in the state of Illinois right now if you want to lawfully purchase and transport your weapons. You can, if you have questions about it, if you want to go there and just say, can you help me get this? They'll do that. They can also help you with your conceal and carry license. If you want to conceal and carry, you need to take a class, and they can help you with that. They helped us get our renewal. They are wonderful at making sure that your needs are met All you got to do is call them directly at 618-931-GUNS, 618-931-GUNS. You can visit them in Pontoon Beach, Illinois, or online at sts-armory.com.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-700-6898. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-700-6898. That's 800-700-6898. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-700-6898. 800-700-6898.
We've been here 30 years. 30 Christmases in this house, and we have the traditions that most families have.
That's Terry talking about her experience with Rhino Shield ceramic coating.
We did Rhino Shield 14 years ago, and the house still looks the same as the first day. Rhino Shield really worked with me to help me get just the right nice soft yellow, and it's 14 years later, and it's the same color.
The main reason Terry called Rhino Shield is because it's backed by its 25-year transferable warranty.
It just sounded wonderful that we could have the house coated with Rhino Shield and not have to worry about it again for 25 years.
Take it from Terry. Give Rhino Shield a call now for a free evaluation. 877-25-RHINO. 877-25-RHINO. Or visit 877-25rhino.com.
There have been neighbors that have come by and said, "Did you just have your house painted?" Because they wanted to know who the contractor was. And I said, "No, it's actually Rhino Shield."
877-25rhino.com.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Prices are going up in 2025 on HVAC equipment. Save now with 2024 pricing on a new system today. For details, visit aircomfortservice.com/new.
SLU men's basketball is here Saturday at 1:30 on 97.1 FM Talk. SLU versus Rhode Island, both looking to break out into the top of the conference late in the season. Tune in for the Billikens game at 1:30, pregame starting at 1:15.
In constant sorrow all through his days, I am a man of constant sorrow.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show. The Annie Fry Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Bid farewell to old Kentucky, the place where I was born and raised, the place where he was born and raised. For 6 long years I've been in trouble, no pleasure here on earth I found. For in this world
All right, 12:45, the vote is for Kash Patel, FBI Director. Cash only, please. He's coming to town, I think, to reform an agency that desperately needs it. It was weaponized against Catholics for practicing their faith, parents who showed up at school board meetings as labeled as domestic terrorists, and then, of course, helping to suppress the Hunter Biden laptop story. The list goes on and on. Cash is going to bring reform along with Pam Bondi, who's leading DOJ. Brighter days are ahead for that agency. All right.
We the people of the United States,
More perfect.
your form of our perfect union.
Heritage legal expert Hans von Spakovsky.
Well, that's your Senator, Eric Schmidt, speaking there about the Kash Patel hearing that's taking place, the vote that is taking place, and we are very grateful to have Hans von Spakovsky back on with us. From what I understand, CPAC. Hans, welcome back. Good to have you.
Well, thanks for having me. Yeah, it's very, very busy here. In fact, J.D. Vance was here this morning to speak.
What is the, so you, I mean, did you go to CPAC last year?
Yeah, we were here last year, too.
Talk to me about, Hans, what it's like to be at CPAC during a campaign year when people are crossing their fingers and saying their prayers that Donald Trump wins, and what it's like to be at CPAC 1 month into Donald Trump's administration.
Well, last year everybody was very, very concerned. They were upset about the things that Biden was doing. They were worried about what would happen in November. And today, it is like the best party you've ever been to. Everybody is happy, and they're excited. And look, it's not just that they're happy that Donald Trump won, but look, today is the 1-month anniversary of his getting inaugurated, and he has done more in 1 month, good things, than Joe Biden did in 4 years of his presidency, and all of it. I mean, he's doing all these things that folks have been saying needed to be done for decades.
Yeah, and during the campaign, he made promises, and what he is delivering, even in this first month, what he's delivering is what he said he was going to do. I think people are pleasantly surprised to see the rapid pace of making good on commitments that he made to voters, especially those who might have been like, I don't know, I've never done this Trump thing before. Maybe they'll try it now. Maybe they didn't vote to support Kamala and didn't vote to support Trump. But it seems like what he said he was going to do, he's doing.
That is true. And I think that's part of the reason, frankly, for his popularity. Look, we've all gotten so used to politicians who make promises when they're running for office and then they don't fulfill them. And listen, he's fulfilling or trying to fulfill every promise he made on the campaign trail, starting with saying that from day one he was going to start enforcing our immigration laws. And I've lost track of how many illegal aliens they have arrested and are deporting, and the numbers along the border have dropped dramatically of aliens trying to get across illegally, and that has everything to do with the stance that the president has taken on illegal immigration.
Yeah, and you know what? It's illegal immigration, certainly, but on even a larger sense, it's law and order. It's the understanding that there are things that are right and there are things that are wrong, and we're about to see shortly, I presume, a confirmation vote. Might be razor thin close, but a win's a win. Kash Patel in as the FBI director. What does that mean to you to see somebody like Kash Patel taking over this position?
Look, I used to have a lot of respect for the FBI. All of that went completely away given the misbehavior we've seen from the FBI, the politicalization we've seen over the past decade, and in particular during the Biden administration. And having someone come in who says, I'm going to clean this up. I'm going to reform this. I'm going to take the FBI and put it back into its job, which is going after serious criminal violence and misbehavior. I think it's great, and I'm just astonished that he's got any opposition, at least from Republicans. Susan Collins of Maine has come out and said she's voting against him. She hasn't given a single rational reason for doing that.
Yeah, I assume that means that she can vote against him. I would presume that means that it's a safe vote to vote no because he would still be confirmed. Do you think that the FBI looks very different very quickly once Kash Patel gets confirmed?
Yes, I do. And the reason for that is look how quickly things have been changing at other agencies. The State Department shutting down USAID and trying to get the money back of all the ridiculous foreign aid grants they've made. Look at the Justice Department and the things they've been doing. I mean, I do a lot of election work. Well, just within the last day, the Justice Department dismissed the ridiculous, in fact, dangerous lawsuit it had filed prior to the election against Virginia, telling Virginia that it wasn't allowed to take aliens off the voter rolls. And they just dismissed that lawsuit. That's the kind of change we're seeing just inside the Justice Department.
Yeah, I think every time we get a new confirmation, I'm very interested in what ends up happening with the McMahon appointment to the Department of Education, because it looks like we could be in store for some significant changes at the Department of Education as well. One of the things we've noticed here locally, and I don't presume that you would know this individual specifically, but it's a local story that I'm curious of your thoughts on from a national perspective. There is a U.S. attorney for the Southern District of Illinois. She was appointed to that position in 2022. She would have been up for re-election as a Illinois state senator. Joe Biden appointed her to be the U.S. attorney for the Southern District of Illinois, and then that Senate seat in the election actually ended up flipping from blue to red. So watching Donald Trump fire her essentially or remove her from this position because she had been previously appointed by Joe Biden wasn't really something that was on my radar, that was something that the new administration could do. What kind of opportunities exist from the new administration to remake some of the court systems that exist around this country where they don't necessarily have to go through those confirmation processes?
Well, U.S. attorneys, and there are 93 of them because there are 93 districts like the Southern District of Illinois around the country. They serve at the pleasure of the president. And the president can get rid of them at any time for any reason or no reason. In fact, the U.S. Supreme Court confirmed that back in an old case back in 1925. It is pretty much standard for new presidents to fire all of the U.S. attorneys because they're political appointees. Bill Clinton did that the moment he got into office. And that's important because, look, if Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, wants to change the direction of the Justice Department to depoliticize it, to de-weaponize it, they have got to get rid of those U.S. attorneys because they've been an integral part of the misbehavior that we've seen in the Garland Justice Department during the Biden administration.
I remember hearing Joe Biden and specifically Chuck Schumer were working to get a lot of judges confirmed during the Biden administration. How did the Biden term compare to other presidential terms when it comes to getting those judges seated and confirmed through the Senate? And what kind of opportunities exist for the Trump administration?
Yeah, unfortunately, Chuck Schumer was successful with that. By the end of the Biden administration, Joe Biden hit the record for getting the most judges confirmed of any president in a 4-year term, beating Donald Trump by one judge. Donald Trump had gotten more folks confirmed during his first 4 years than any prior president. Joe Biden now is ahead of him by one. And you know, those judges are, frankly, they're terrible. I mean, they are the most left-wing, ideologically biased judges you can possibly imagine. Donald Trump will have he can't get rid of those judges, unfortunately, but as more senior judges retire and positions open up, he will be able to appoint new judges, and I expect, you know, there's probably going to be dozens of judges taking what's called senior status each year. So he may be able to get a significant number of judges in the next 4 years. But in the meantime, unfortunately, they're going to have to continue to deal with bad federal judges like the one who, within the last week, told the president that he couldn't fire the head of the Office of Special Counsel, which is one of those so-called independent agencies. The Justice Department on Sunday issued an emergency appeal with the U.S. Supreme Court. That's the first case over firings of federal employees that has gotten to the Supreme Court. And hopefully the Supreme Court will step in and tell this federal judge, you can't stop the president from firing somebody.
Hans, you're the senior legal fellow at the Heritage Foundation. Before we let you go, I've noticed Elon Musk, he's obviously very present. He is at ground zero for everything happening with the Trump administration, has been tweeting lately, posting on X lately that bad judges, we should be able to remove bad judges. And, you know, I understand that the lifetime appointments for the judicial system is something that is very purposeful. There's an intention that exists in those positions. Do you see any potential change that would have the support it would need to make it so that if a judge is deemed no longer good by one party or the other, that they would be able to be removed?
No, because the only way you could do that is through a constitutional amendment, and I don't think that is going to happen. By the way, Elon Musk, I believe, is supposed to be at CPAC this afternoon to speak to the crowd.
Well, you tell him hi from the Annie Fry Show if you see him. We would love to pass that along. Tell him he's doing a great job. Hans,
I will do it.
Thank you for being with us. We appreciate your time.
Great. Thanks for having me.
Take care. Bye-bye. Senior legal fellow at the Heritage Foundation, a former FEC commissioner, and a DOJ lawyer at CPAC, directly from CPAC. Nice to hear from him. Quick break. When we come back, Wiggins America, he's been doing the work. You know what I mean? And when I say he's been doing the work, we're talking about Democrats, because the literal work is saying that you're trying to make people believe you're doing work. What that work is, nobody knows. But he's got 12 Democrats who he thinks makes the most sense for 2028, or his source thinks makes the most sense for 2028. Who are they going to throw up against? That's a funny way of saying it. Who are they going to throw up against who the Republicans run? Maybe J.D. Vance or maybe somebody else. Wiggins America next.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Fry Show.
Michael's Flooring Outlet, online at igotfloored.com. Shop for your flooring with people who are excited to see you. They like you, they respect you, and of course, they have great quality flooring and great value with the quality flooring that they're excited to sell you. I appreciate the way that they display their options that are in front of you, the way you can experience them, feel them, make you feel like you're making a very educated decision when you're putting this investment into your home. There's nothing like walking into your home and seeing this brand new flooring. It just brings to life the entire space of your house when this fresh, clean lined new flooring is installed in your home. If you're putting in carpet and maybe you're choosing the Mohawk Smart Strand line of carpet, it's got a superior performance, it's got great resilience, that fresh smell of carpet, I love it. Is that a universal smell that everybody loves, fresh new carpet? I think so. It's wonderful. It's like new car. Who hates that? Everybody loves it. If you're looking for that, you're going to go to Michael's Flooring Outlet and you're going to get a great value on it and the customer service that is going to wrap the whole thing in a nice little bow for you. You can find them online at igotfloored.com.
Step outside and fall in love with your backyard again. From inviting porch overhangs to durable composite decks and cozy screen rooms, Lakeside Renovation and Design creates stunning outdoor living spaces designed for relaxation, entertaining, and making memories. With expert craftsmanship and top-quality materials, your new outdoor oasis will be perfect for every season. Call Lakeside Renovation and Design today or visit lakesiderd.com to get started. Let's turn your backyard into the retreat you've always dreamed of.
Now Taxes is using Credit Karma, where a TurboTax expert can do your taxes for you. They'll get your refund so you can do more with it right in Credit Karma. Now this is taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. See guaranteed details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
All right, we got a big poll question today, one that I want you to think about. So if you haven't voted on it yet, it's okay. You have a couple hours, but I do want you to consider it, then vote with all of your heart and all of your head. Is the gold at Fort Knox?
Is that different than how you usually vote?
Yeah, sometimes I think
Just
people do it kind of,
click,
Yeah,
done.
whatever. Just having a little
Show me
fun
the
here,
results.
What'd you do for Valentine's Day? I don't know, click. Today, is the gold at Fort Knox? Also, let us know what that means, because we don't know. Yes or no?
Researching?
Well, okay.
We're going to talk about it.
But we haven't landed on exactly the implications for if the gold is not at Fort Knox.
Yeah, we just panic.
Okay. YouTube live chat poll today. Let us know what you think. 1244. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
SportsGrid.com. 97.1 is excited to welcome Brian Kilmeade back to St. Louis.
Hi, everyone. Brian Kilmeade here. I have great news. I'm going to be joining all of you in St. Louis.
Be a part of this event.
March 22nd, St. Louis. You're going to love it.
Get tickets at BrianKilmeade.com. This is the Annie Fry Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Wiggins!
Wiggins! He's ready to get you going.
Yeah, he's on it. I mean, okay, let's go. We're just sitting here talking about Stone Temple Pilots.
Get on the microphone.
All right, Ethan, take it away.
I'm here.
Take it away, Ethan.
Wait.
All right. 12 Democrats you think are tops for 2028.
Take it, Ethan.
Go ahead.
Name a Democrat.
Joe Biden.
Joe Biden is not on this list.
How could he not be on the list?
He's not.
I just wanted to say that if you were going to top the greatest comeback of all time, it would definitely be Joe Biden's reelection.
Man,
nobody sees it coming.
Joe Biden still being alive by the next election is in the same. That is the same level of comeback as what Donald Trump
Normally,
did for
we
him.
just allude to it.
He's like Eminem.
Like,
he's rapping what we're all thinking.
So the comeback is him surviving, not necessarily even running.
Listen, I just call it how it is. Yes, that's the equivalent. If Joe Biden is still alive,
so no matter who wins in 2028, Joe Biden's the winner if he's here.
I will be on my feet.
Gosh, gentlemen.
Applauding.
The liberals in the chat are going to lose their mind.
Ethan's rooting for him.
Yeah,
to be alive,
to be here.
Yes,
that's very nice of you, Ethan.
Well, it's just who I am.
Well, this list does not include Joe Biden. This is who MSN says are the most likely.
Close.
Yeah, the most likely Democrats and maybe the top choices for 2028. Now, some of these people I'm not even that familiar with, but number 12, we'll start with the bottom. Is Tim Walz.
Oh, God. I hope he runs.
I would see Joe Biden winning before Tim Walz.
No kidding.
Tim Walz, the 2024 vice presidential nominee, it says was not unpopular, but he didn't really live up to the early hype.
Yeah, neither was Carrie from that movie.
Just a goofy old pal.
That movie, Carrie?
Yeah.
the titular character from Carrie?
How else were they supposed to say it? Neither was Carrie from
the movie Carrie.
Carrie.
Yeah. It's just funny that that's the example he used.
Who was he popular with? I told you guys this, but the other day I had a nightmare that his daughter was chasing me.
Oh
yeah.
my.
No, that was Doug Emhoff's daughter.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
I mean, I don't know.
Horrifying.
That was an unnecessary story. I take it back. That didn't happen.
Nobody listening was like, "Wait a minute, that doesn't sound right."
Well, Tim Walz's daughter is on social media all the time, whining about people too.
Which one's the one that doesn't shave anything?
I think that's Doug Emhoff's daughter.
Doug Emhoff, okay.
But I mean, she models.
Oh, really?
But she's always got the stone cold face. She doesn't never look like she's happy to be there.
Right.
But I think that's what you're supposed to do. So maybe she's good at it. But she must have been my X feed at night when I was trying to sleep because I had a bad dream.
As an expert in this, is it scarier when somebody chases you with a stone cold face or smiling?
Well, this one was stone cold, and that was pretty scary.
She's just running at you with no expression on her face.
She had a dream about me chasing her, and then it's all even.
Yeah, let's get on X and find out. Although she's probably not on X. Number 11, Josh Stein.
Who?
Yeah.
I haven't heard of this guy.
Yeah, he's North Carolina.
Come on and raise up.
North Carolina governor, I guess.
Take your shirt off.
How many times have you heard his name? Let's skip on to Andy.
No, wait, who is he?
He's the North Carolina governor.
Stein is the North Carolina governor?
I always hear the North Carolina governor. I never hear his name. But he is a Democrat.
Can I interrupt?
Please.
I'm trying to get Winnie's. I picked Winnie up. I'm trying to get her dog hair off my shirt right now, so I'm using Scotch tape and just wrapping her on my fingers. I just pulled the Scotch tape out, and there's popcorn stuck to it.
This really is a segment you kind of take off.
From inside. That's why I let you do it every day.
I thought
From
so.
inside the tape thing. Go on.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Number 11.
Number 10. No, it's number 10 now.
Yeah,
Andy,
don't you remember?
Andy Bashir.
That's kind of low on the list for him.
You think he's higher?
I think he should be higher.
Guess who's right above him? And this is the Kentucky governor, by the way,
Right.
also a Democrat. Number 9, Gavin Newsom.
He's going to be so mad that he's that far down the list.
Number 9.
I thought the same thing.
You shouldn't have sucked at your job.
No kidding.
His star has fallen, and so has his countenance. It is crestfallen.
Stop. Just,
Okay.
We have 8 more to go.
Speaking of 8, Raphael Warnock is ahead on this list.
What
Oh
the
my
heck?
gosh.
Of Gavin Newsom.
This list is getting better.
Raphael Warnock, he is a senator from Georgia. I think his seat is up in 2026.
His seat was one of the 2 that were up that went to the runoff, and the election for Raphael Warnock was on January 5th of 2021, the day before, as the calendar goes, January 6th of 2021. Georgia wins 2 seats, and the Democrats win the Senate. Raphael Warnock is a nut job.
Yeah.
He is a pastor, from what I understand.
Yes.
And I question the theology that he preaches because his policies do not back it up.
He does weave in some sort of very loose spiritual
When
items.
it's convenient?
When it's really convenient.
That's the worst.
Yeah, he basically preaches social justice as a gospel.
Yes, he does.
Oh.
That's my reaction too, Ethan. He is actually not up until 2028. I just looked it up, so that's probably why he's on this list, is that he would not be up for re-election until 28. John Ossoff, the other Georgia senator, is up in 2026. And you see who might run against him? Governor Brian Kemp in Georgia. That would be a fantastic
For Senate?
pickup for Republicans.
Can he not
in the
run again?
Senate.
Do they have term limits?
I don't know if he can or can't, but he's definitely he's not squashing the rumor.
He's earned it.
Yeah. He's been a Trump kind of, they've been back and forth.
For the record,
But-
no politician's ever like, no, I'm not running for that. That's crazy.
True.
They're all like, I could run for Senate if I wanted to. They want me.
I want him. He has not been a MAGA guy, but man, he'd be a great pickup in
He
Georgia.
was this last election.
Yeah, he was.
And Trump, they both kind of met in the middle. It was mature.
I guarantee you Trump would say, Brian Kemp, welcome to the fold, buddy. He would not hesitate for a second.
I don't know. I wouldn't guarantee that.
Number 7, Wes Moore, the Maryland
Maryland
governor. That's right. I don't know much about him, but he is
Wes less.
apparently pretty high on the list.
Nice.
Number 6.
Thanks, Ethan. It's the show behind the show. Just keep doing your thing.
No, I understand how the
You're-
show behind
you're-
the show works. That's what I do mostly.
I know. I know. This is so fun.
You
Starting to
having a good
understand
time?
everything.
You
I
getting the
do.
dog hair off of your shirt?
Most
Fun,
of it,
isn't it,
yeah.
Ryan?
Oh, it's a blast. Ruben Gallego is number 6, the senator from Arizona. Now, I don't think he's actually that popular.
I don't think he is
He
either.
beat Carrie Lake this
Really?
last time.
Gosh.
And Carrie Lake has just had a
he's
terrible time.
Pretty far left, but they really don't like
Carrie Lake went from the news desk to acting entitled to be the governor and the senator. And she did the whole thing with the chip on her shoulder like she got screwed like Trump got screwed. And it's like, I think that she took the wrong approach.
I do too.
I feel like she acted as though it was hers and it was taken from her and she forgot to earn it.
I have a question. Up to this point, because I imagine further down the list there might be at least the Democrats, some that might be appeasing or might, I guess, spread out a little bit. But so far, out of these 6, who do you guys think is like the most liked by the people that would make the most
Say
sense?
Andy Bashir.
Bashir, yeah. He'd be the most palatable.
Okay.
Another white
also
dude
the
from the Democrats.
Yeah, but he's the most centrist of the ones that we've said so far.
Yeah,
so of
so
course
we see
we're
if
going to
it-
go, oh, Andy Bashir.
Sure.
You know?
But I mean, you can't.
That's where
you
the party
can't
is
win
going.
with somebody far left.
Agreed.
So
And that's why number 5, I'm going to put this on the tee for you, Ethan. John Fetterman.
Ew.
Does anybody think he could really run for president, though?
I don't think he thinks he could run.
Yeah, I'm not sure that he does either. I could be very wrong about his intentions, but I think he loves being the senator from Pennsylvania.
You have to ask his wife.
Well, we'll ask him, and he'll go, I don't know, maybe. Because nobody ever says no.
Would I have to wear a suit?
If anybody was going to say, hell no, it'd be Fetterman.
Yeah. Number 4, I'm just going to put right in the center of the console here, and then I'm going to walk away. Kamala Harris.
It's not surprising.
You go, girl.
Do you think she actually? I mean, she leads the polls right now for some unknown reason. Why would you go back to Kamala Harris?
Because you don't have any other choice.
Yeah.
Because she's a powerful black woman.
You play the best. You play the best card that you have, and that's probably the best card that they have
I don't know that the Democrats did that.
Is she the best card that you have in the deck right now, though? Because she's number 4 on MSN's list.
It all depends on what your standards are. We're sitting here as 4 red voters going, how in the world could you possibly do that? But if they only care about the wokeness of the far left progressive, then of course she's the next one. If they care about winning, then no, of course she's not. But I hope that they care about the former.
Well, here's who MSN says is ahead of Kamala Harris, even though she's leading in the polls. Number 3, Pete Buttigieg.
I see him ahead of her, yeah.
Ooh, man. He can debate. That's the one thing about him, is he'll stick on a point and make it sound like he's really hitting you on it.
He's better at presenting their argument from a likable position.
I don't like it.
You don't?
I don't like that he's good at it.
Mm-hmm.
He is better at it. I wouldn't say he's...
No, he's good at it.
His positions, though, are tough to defend. So that makes it hard.
He doesn't have any problem.
He has no problem doing anything he can to defend those positions. Number 2, Gretchen Whitmer.
Mm-hmm.
She seems way too high on this list to me.
Yeah.
I don't know why they like her so much.
I do. She's from Michigan, and she's a woman.
Okay, she's from Michigan, but gosh, she just doesn't seem to have
Pete Buttigieg currently.
The political prowess. Like Pete Buttigieg, I do understand because he can debate.
Pete Buttigieg is going to run for Senate.
Michigan. I was going to say, in Michigan? Mm-hmm. Number 1, anybody guess here? Anybody want to guess who MSN says the number 1 most likely Democrat to run for president in 2028?
Likely to run?
Likely to run.
J.B. Pritzker.
Yeah.
Ew.
You think?
That's who I have.
J.B. Pritzker. Anybody else?
Well, he said it's not Biden, so I got nothing.
Josh Shapiro.
Yeah, Pennsylvania.
The guy who apparently spurned Kamala Harris. We don't really know for sure.
Well, I think the Republicans have better candidates top to bottom than those, but time will tell. Donald Trump needs to keep delivering on the promises made, promises kept. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Would you make $500,000 in retirement savings feel like $1 million? Or $1 million feel like $2 million? The key is having a comprehensive financial plan for taxes, Social Security, inflation, healthcare, income, and more. Discover how you could make money go a lot further in retirement in a 3-hour adult education class, Retirement Planning 101. Guys, it's Dave Glover from KMOX. This one-night class is taught by a fiduciary advisor from Financial and Tax Architects with decades of financial planning experience. They're held at colleges and libraries throughout St. Louis. There's no cost. Just bring 3 canned goods for the St. Louis Crisis Nursery. If you've saved $300,000 or more for retirement, register by calling 314-350-8110. 314-350-8110. If, like me, you haven't quite had the pedal to the metal the way you should, or if you've had the pedal to the metal the entire time, either way, give us a call. We can help you out. We'll take you wherever you are. 314-350-8110. 314-350-8110 for Financial and Tax Architects.
AirComfortService.com. It is cold outside. Hopefully it's warm inside. If you need to get your heating system checked, I am here to talk to you about how Air Comfort Service can make that an easy process for you. 314-513-0091. 314-513-0091. Of course, you can look them up online at aircomfortservice.com. If you are interested in routine HVAC system checks 2 each year that you don't have to plan for yourself, you don't have to go through the process of, oh gosh, I got to do that. I got to get the filter changed, so on and so forth. Air Comfort Service has a plan for you that you can sign up for. They'll reach out to you to schedule those system checks, so you don't even have to remember to make the appointments. They'll help you do that. You'll get discounts on service calls, repairs, and new equipment. And with Air Comfort Service and their heating system check plan, you are going to get priority service. It's just $19 a month, and you get your 12th month free when you pay monthly. Reach out to Air Comfort Service at 314-513-0091 or find them online at aircomfortservice.com.
Homeowners, selling your St. Louis home is a big deal, and look, I understand selecting the right agent can be a daunting task, but it is crucial. Mark Cox here. There are agents out there who will tell you an unrealistic sales price just to get your business. And that's why I only recommend my friend and trusted agent, Gloria Liu, with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Gloria understands you need assurances when selling your home, not just empty promises. That's why Gloria will guarantee upfront and in writing to sell your home at your agreed upon price, or Gloria will buy it. You might ask, how can she make such a guarantee? Easy. Gloria knows how to market and properly price your home. Plus, she has a database of thousands of exclusive buyers, many of whom are looking for a home just like yours. Take it from me. Call my friend Gloria Liu at 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888. Or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-500-5000.
That's 314-500-5000.
All on the free Odyssey app.
Celebrating at the White House. Lisa Brady, Fox News, marking 1 month since President Trump returned to the Oval Office.
And there is no denying this administration is off to a historic start.
Spokeswoman Caroline Leavitt says that includes 73 executive orders. Also just announcing the president plans his first cabinet meeting next Wednesday. Deputy White House Chief of Staff Stephen Miller also at the briefing.
He has packed 8 years of transformative action, restoring this nation. Restoring our laws, restoring fairness, restoring economic opportunity, restoring national security in just 1 month. No one in this country's ever seen anything like it.
Democrats argue that's not a good thing, criticizing sweeping cuts and layoffs in federal agencies. They also continue to sound the alarm about the president's pick for FBI director.
When left to his own devices, Kash Patel has proven himself to be a wildly vindictive partisan.
Rhode Island Senator Sheldon Whitehouse among the Democrats protesting outside FBI headquarters earlier today as the Senate is set to vote on Patel. Back to the White House briefing.
What I share the president's assessment on is that the war has to end.
National Security Advisor Mike Waltz pushing back on criticism of the U.S. holding talks first with Russia about the war in Ukraine.
I, for one, and I think all Americans and around the world should have no doubt about his ability to not only handle Putin, but to handle the complexity of driving this war to an end.
A Trump special envoy met with Ukraine's president today in Kyiv. The French and British leaders visit the White House next week. New York's governor just confirming prison workers are being arrested on murder charges in the death of an inmate who was beaten while handcuffed in December. A county prosecutor expected to release more information on the charges soon. America is listening to Fox News.
During tax season, your info travels lots of places you can't control.
W-2 arriving from payroll platform 3.
Everything criminals need to steal your identity is on your W-2.
Last call for accountant at home office, 1 minute.
LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points per second.
Tax preparation data centers with service to IRS. All aboard.
If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Why pay more for prescriptions? Stop overpaying and start saving with SingleCare. It's easy. Find your prescription on SingleCare.com, show the coupon at the pharmacy, and start saving. SingleCare works at pharmacies nationwide and is completely free to use, whether you have insurance or not. So the next time you fill a prescription, check SingleCare to make sure you're getting the best price. Take control of your prescription costs. Go to SingleCare.com or download the free app today.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
It is just plain cold. Air direct from the Arctic, 18 for the high. Tonight, clear and cold down to 5. Friday, sunny skies, very cold start, 28 Friday afternoon, 15 Friday night. Gets a little better over the weekend. Saturday, sunny, 38 in the afternoon. Sunday, sunny and 48. Monday, 58. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Tammy Dittamore and the Dittamore Group, along with Zach, Pat, Abby, and Trisha, this amazing team that is ready to take your phone call, 618-531-4652, 618-531-4652, to list your home and get it sold. You could be ready to sell immediately. Maybe something happened and you know, I got to get this process done quickly. Or it's kind of been mulling around. Maybe you and your significant other are discussing it and you're thinking about maybe downsizing and you're kind of just wondering, What's out there? What could we maybe get for our house? Start that conversation with the Dittamore Group. They will walk you through it. There's no obligation to you once you reach out to them, but just partner yourself up with the best in the business. And when I say the best, I'm talking about the number one team in the number one office in the Metro East. The Dittamore Group is there to guide you through whatever you need, buying and selling your home in Illinois and in Missouri. Reach out to them at 618-531-4652, 618-531-4652, online at thedittamore.com.
Hi, I'm Bob Kershaw with Retirement Advisory Group. Are you worried about market volatility? Are you concerned your money won't last you through retirement?
Hi, I'm Tammy Kershaw, and as a family-owned business, we are committed to protecting your retirement, whether you're nearing retirement or already retired. We have a lot of folks that aren't aware of all the new investment choices that are available, which give you growth and protection from losses at the same time. Are you aware of all the fees that you are currently paying? We can show you how to avoid those fees. So come in now for your free retirement review and get a second opinion on your retirement plan. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of our latest edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. Let us show you how to retire with confidence.
We are proud to say we haven't lost a penny of our clients' money in 39 years, and we won't lose a penny of yours either. Let our family help your family. Call us now at 314-993-9494 or go online to retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
There's no better time to give your body nutritional support with Neovitin than right now. Start the new year off right with Neovitin 50 Plus multivitamins. Neovitin 50 Plus multivitamins give you a nutritional base with B vitamins to support energy, vitamins A and C for immune support, and our physician-formulated proprietary 4-ingredient blend for daily support that you won't find in any other multivitamin. Find Neovitin at your local Schnucks, Deerbergs, and online at neovitin.com.
Submit your favorite fish fry at 971talk.com/events. We're taking the show on the road every Friday during Lent, and we're looking for suggestions. It's Fish Fry Fridays on The Mark Reardon Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Judiciary Committee what crimes it was that he was concerned about that caused him to plead the Fifth. Kash Patel, mark my words, will cause evil in this building behind us, and Republicans who vote for him will rue that day.
That's Sheldon Whitehouse.
He's going to cause evil, huh?
Sheldon Whitehouse doesn't even seem like a real name.
Sheldon Whitehouse is a name they make up in movies for senators.
Senator. Oh, Whitehouse. It's like you ran out
Senator
of ideas.
Capitol Building.
What did Kash Patel say he was going to turn the FBI building into? Museum of...
I don't remember.
Museum
deep state
for the
corruption.
Deep State.
Yeah, deep state corruption or something like that.
I approve.
We're getting closer. Right now, they are voting. Let's just listen in here real quick and see what Fox is saying as they take the vote. It's yes 33, no 18, and votes are coming in. Go ahead and pop up the TV here and let's listen in real quick.
Been watching closely. Ari, please stand by. John?
Yeah, it was a heart-wrenching moment for everyone in Israel.
Okay, so they waited for us to come to them to go to something else. Thank you.
And it sounds like the Annie Fry is going to come to us. Why don't we go to a different story now?
Go. Our YouTube live chat poll for today is the gold at Fort Knox. This conversation is brewing a lot because of Donald Trump has kind of blessed the conversation, I would say, so to speak. He had this to say from Air Force One. I think it was just yesterday that he made this comment.
We're going to go into Fort Knox to make sure the gold is there. Are they gonna know that? We're going to go into Fort Knox. Do you know about that? That was a bad bump.
Are they going to eliminate more national security positions, civilians there?
We'll see what happens. But one of the things we do want to look, I mean, we hope everything's fine with Fort Knox, but we're going to go to Fort Knox, the fabled Fort Knox, to make sure the gold is there.
Where would the gold have gone?
If the gold isn't there, we're going to be very upset.
Where would the gold have gone? I think that would be the second question. The first one is the gold there?
Yes.
When you determine that the answer to that is no, then the obvious next question is, where would the gold have gone? I don't think that Donald Trump can pontificate on that before he determines whether or not the gold is, in fact, at Fort Knox.
The third question would be, why didn't you tell me? First one, where is the gold there? Second one, where'd the gold go? Third one,
Trump.
Why didn't you tell me that?
Trump would be saying that.
Yes.
Yeah. You know that old plausible deniability thing with presidents, like you just got to kind of keep them in the dark about some things, but you're the president, so why is that happening? Forbes, I'm like reading on this issue. I know that we're not like on the gold standard at this point, but Derek Saul, who is on the Forbes staff, top line says Elon Musk, the world's richest man and head of the powerful Doge, and President Donald Trump elevated decades-old conspiracies about the state of the United States government's gold reserve at Fort Knox this weekend as Trump vowed to take a rare look inside the tightly guarded facility. They can't tell him no, right? I mean, I don't know that we know.
They told senators no, but how do you tell the president no? He's going to go. Did he say when he's going to go there, or just that he's
Senator
going
Paul responded, "Let's do it," to one of Musk's posts calling for the annual audits. Trump joined in the discourse in that comment that we just played. Forbes reports there's no evidence to support theories about missing gold, but the state of the reserve is tightly sealed. So I guess the conspiracies grow out of the idea that it's so locked down that people can't get in there to prove that it is there. So maybe it's just kind of grown out of itself. The U.S. Bullion Depository in Fort Knox, Kentucky, holds 147.3 million troy ounces of gold, or about 59% of the Treasury's total supply, according to the United States Mint. More from Forbes, with gold trading at more than $2,940 per troy ounce on the open market Tuesday. That means the Fort Knox gold has a market value of $434 billion, more than the market value of Europe's most valuable public company, Tiffany and Louis Vuitton. However, the government denotes the value of this gold at Fort Knox as just $6 billion, based on the government set book value for gold of $42.22 per troy ounce.
I'm almost glad to hear them say, well, it's kind of like if you owned Louis Vuitton. Because if it was more than that, I'd be more worried. If it's just comparable to a random company.
What are the stakes?
Yeah, it lowers the stakes a little bit.
Forbes asks the question, who has been in Fort Knox's gold reserves? It's kind of your question, like how do you get in there? The Fort Knox Depository has only opened its doors to non-authorized personnel on 3 occasions. In 1943 for President Franklin D. Roosevelt. In 1974 for 10 Congress members to break down, quote, cobwebs, end quote, to, quote, reassure the public that their gold was intact and safe. And in 2017 for a delegation including Senator Mitch McConnell and then Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin. I feel better.
And Menendez.
That's
with some friends from Egypt.
The Musk-led skepticism about whether the Fort Knox gold supply matches the government's accounting strikes a similar tune. The New York Times article on the 1974 visit was headlined, quote, visitors get a peek at Fort Knox gold. It's there.
Okay, good.
So in 74, it was, according to the New York Times.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Nothing's happened since then. I totally trust those people.
This is one of those that it would make, if you are missing any gold at all, if it's that locked down, you'd have to be you could narrow the suspects down really tight as to who could even get it out.
I don't know. Don't you know how corruption works?
Man, one of the things...
No? That's a good question, though.
That list you read off there was a list of unapproved people? Or how did they phrase it? But something to the effect of like they weren't approved people, and then the very first person on the list...
Non-authorized.
Non-authorized, that's right.
They were approved, but they are not authorized personnel.
And the very first person on that list was Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the President of the United States.
Yeah, that was weird. I thought the same thing.
I don't understand why the President isn't authorized.
you'd probably have to have purpose, intent, and a request, I would think.
But who authorizes the president to go in there, which means that they have more power than the president?
Well, I mean, we have a divided government. He's not a king, unlike what his Truth Social post. Did you see that?
Yeah.
So Donald Trump, can you pull up the Truth Social post while I play this clip here of him reacting to this? It was a reaction to this congestion tax that was taking place in New York City. So they were going to tax people to try to make some money off of it and minimize the congestion that exists in that area. Of course, traffic is outrageous. Here's Governor Kathy Hochul talking about the blocking
President
of it.
Donald Trump tweeted, "Long live the king." I'm here to say New York hasn't labored under a king in over 250 years. And we sure as hell are not going to start now. We stood up to a king, and we won then. And we will, in case you don't know, New Yorkers, we're in a fight. We do not back down, not now, not ever.
Well, I just kind of feel like, isn't Donald Trump a New Yorker also? Maybe not anymore, but I think he definitely has that New York fight in him, and he's pushing back. So that congestion pricing has been blocked. Here is Representative Nicole.
Maybe Kathy Hochul should just listen to the people of New York who overwhelmingly said they do not want congestion pricing. 65% of New Yorkers said they did not want this tax, that this was unfair to the residents that I represent in the outer boroughs who now have to pay an additional toll to drive into the city center in the city in which they live. And this is significant, what President Trump did, not just for New York, but the entire nation.
So when Donald Trump comes in and says, okay, this is not good, we're not going to do this, of course, you'll see that the New York government, the heavily led Democratic government in the state of New York, is going to continue to fight for it and push back against Donald Trump. Because fighting against Trump, that's the thing to do. If you're a Democrat this entire time that you are in office right now, your whole purpose is to fight back against Donald Trump. That's really what the goal is here. So after this congestion pricing thing happens, then we have the White House. It's at White House on X. Posts on X, congestion pricing is dead, all caps. Manhattan and all of New York is saved. Long live the king, ! And then it quotes President Donald J. Trump that way. And they have what appears to be a mimic of a Time magazine cover. And instead of Time, it says Trump across the top. On the bottom, the little caption here is long live the king. And it's just a very happy, smiling Donald Trump with a crown on his head. Is this just the biggest case of trolling?
Yes. That's exactly what this is.
Do you care?
I can't say I don't care, but I've gotten really used to him using the narratives that people throw at him and just turning them right around until he does something that makes me go, ooh, that's out of line. Not on Twitter. I mean, like in government.
Yeah.
I don't care about it. Like, go ahead.
The left would say he certainly has.
The left would say he has.
They're also wrong.
Thank you.
I didn't love this. I thought, not necessary. It's a tweak. It's meant to tweak. And it's a distraction. But I also think that Trump has put himself in a position where if he wants to tweak, he can tweak.
That's kind of where I am with some of these things, because the first time around you go, oh, Trump, I really support a lot of the things you're doing, surprisingly, because we didn't know him that well. And yet he would do things on Twitter that you go, wish you wouldn't say that. Anymore, you go, man, this is year 10 of knowing Donald Trump. This is how he does things. He gets results. He does this stuff in the process. I don't know if it's to make himself laugh or if there's some larger point to it, but he does it. And unless he's really stepping out of line and doing things that are, breaking the Constitution, which the left says all the time and isn't actually happening, then it's just who he is.
Spiking the football. It's an end zone celebration.
Yeah, but he's been in the end zone for a while.
Mm-hmm. And he just keeps spiking it.
Which, again, I'm like, well.
I know.
The things that you did to this man, this is not we haven't even scratched the surface on if we were just talking about revenge for revenge's sakes. Because to me, the stuff that he's doing as the president is not out of revenge. He said, I'm going to do this, and America says, I vote for you. And then he won. This type of stuff looks like it's for revenge. This is the type of stuff it's like, I got to get one in today. I'm just feeling the need. So, I wonder if AI puts that together. Show me a magazine cover that looks like Time that says Trump across the top, put a crown on Trump's head and say, long live the king.
It's also just so unique to him because he does things that make the left go, doggone it, he can't do that. I'm going to do exactly that to stop him from doing that.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't. You guys are banning books. You know what we're going to do? We're going to ban people from saying things that we disagree with on that topic. Like, it's over and over and over. They just take the bait on him.
Watching right now is the vote total for the confirmation of potential FBI Director Kash Patel is in the process. It's a yes 48 and a no 47. And I would like them to go to cover this. We do have a guest coming up. Thomas Catenacci is going to be with us. He's a reporter at the Free Beacon, and he's going to talk to us about a name that you know very well. Got a $2 billion grant from the Joe Biden administration, and we're going to get the details on that. Let's take a break. Maybe we'll get to Thomas here a little bit quicker. We'll get to this report because I want to hear these stories, and I want the people who are doing the hard work to uncover it to tell us those stories. And in the meantime, we will watch with great excitement how close we are to Kash Patel being confirmed. We'll keep you up to date to that as that news breaks. Thomas Catenacci from the Free Beacon on the latest Doge uncovering of what might be fraud with a name attached to it that you know very well. We'll be right back.
This is The Annie Fry Show. The Annie Fry Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
First round here and away.
Todd Sivia and Sivia Law, the lawyer that I use to help establish our trust for my family, to make sure that we have all of our T's crossed, the I's dotted, the questions answered, even the ones that we didn't know that we needed to consider. He is so thorough. He is so good at what he does. He's affordable. So if you are looking at having your estate plan taken care of, if you have elder law concerns that you need addressed, you want to go to Todd Sivia. This is the person you've been waiting for, the right guy, the sensible decision in order to make sure that everything is taken care of. Todd Sivia is the person who you've been looking for, and he works in Missouri and Illinois. He has offices in both states. 833-995-WILL. That's 833-995-WILL. You can call him directly at that number. You can also visit him online at civialaw.com to find out all the details of what he can do for you, the locations that he has for you, and make sure that you are taken care of by the same people who took care of me, to my family, to my husband, when it came to getting our trust, our will, our powers of attorney, all of that stuff taken care of. It's Sivia Law. Go to civialaw.com.
Join Mark Patrick's seminars, Lose the Weight and Stop Smoking. Early bird specials, $49.99. Seminar Sunday, March 16th, Aviator Hotel and Suites, South I-55, St. Louis. Weight loss, 11 a.m. Stop Smoking Seminar, 2 p.m. Or Monday, March 17th, 4 Point Sheraton, St. Louis. Fairview Heights, Fairview Heights. Weight loss, 5:30 p.m. Stop Smoking Seminar, 8 p.m.
When's the last time you gave your home's exterior a little love? Hi, it's Kim, and if your siding is cracking, it's fading, or just doesn't stand up to our St. Louis weather, it's time to call Lakeside Renovation and Design because they're experts in James Hardy siding, which is this durable, low-maintenance option, and it looks beautiful. Plus, you have customizable colors and textures, and so you can give your home a completely new look while protecting it for decades. Don't wait until the small problems turn into big ones. Visit lakesidearty.com to schedule your free consultation.
Attention St. Louis Medicaid residents in need of care at home. If you need assistance with daily activities, you can receive in-home care from a loved one that lives with you and they get paid. Through Medicaid with no cost to you, Freedom Care allows you to choose who provides your care at home in St. Louis and they get paid instantly. This is 100% free to you. Call now to check your eligibility. It can be your daughter, son, a close relative, or trusted friend helping helping you with cooking, transportation, laundry, and other activities in your own home. You get the help you need, and your caregiver gets paid instantly. Freedom Care has over 7,000 five-star Google reviews and is a leading choice in St. Louis for in-home care. If you have Medicaid and want great care from a loved one that's free to you through Medicaid, go to freedomcare.com or call 314-597-1749, 314-597-1749, 314-597-1749.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. If you have a furnace that needs service, a heat pump that needs repairs, or a boiler that needs to be replaced, contact Air Comfort Service. They offer 24/7 emergency heating service too. AirComfortService.com.
The Mark Reardon Show.
Thursday afternoon, J.J. Carafano from Heritage at 3:25 to talk about Trump's comments on Zelensky, which have heated up a bit.
The Mark Reardon Show. Weekdays from 3 to 6. Right here on 97.1 FM Talk. This is the Annie Fry Show.
All right.
Follow Annie on X at Annie Fry Show.
Yeah. Well, I must admit, I can't explain any of these thoughts racing through my brain. It's true. Baby, I'm howling for you.
All right, we're back, and we had to take that quick break because we needed to verify the Kash Patel confirmation process. The vote has been taken, and it is official. Your new FBI director, Kash Patel, has been confirmed. Ryan, a few quick details before we get to our guest.
There were 2 Republicans that voted no on him. It is the typical ones, Lisa Murkowski of Alaska and Susan Collins of Maine. It does look like that McConnell of Kentucky, who announced his retirement today, voted yes on Patel.
So no J.D. Vance tiebreaker vote needed. We'll get some reaction and thoughts on that here in a bit, but we do have a guest scheduled that I'm excited to talk about. Thomas Catenacci is a reporter at the Free Beacon, and he wrote this article, and I came across it, and I was really grateful, Thomas, that we were able to connect with you today because you're doing great reporting work with the Free Beacon. Thanks for being with us this afternoon.
It's great to be here. Thank you so much for having me, Annie.
Yeah, of course. So, everybody's following Doge. Everybody is following Doge, left, right, alike. It's probably one of the most bipartisan efforts I've seen where they have a lot of support from people who are saying, find the waste. But another thing that we're starting to see a lot, too, is find the fraud. I want you to talk about Stacey Abrams and what you have uncovered here with the Free Beacon and reported on. Tell us a story here on what you discovered.
Yeah, well, rolling off of that initial point that you just made, a lot of the conversation around Doge so far has been focused on USAID programs, just kind of blatantly wasteful programs to fund ridiculous things across the world. And there's no doubt it's important to be aware of those things and to call them out and to defund those programs. But they're smaller, right? We're talking about kind of $1 million grant here, $200,000 grant here, et cetera, et cetera. But when it comes to the actual sizable, impactful programs, a lot of people sort of in the federal government would point you in the direction of climate programs. And there's none bigger than the Greenhouse Gas Reduction Fund. It's an EPA program instituted by the Inflation Reduction Act in late 2022. It's the largest non-tax investment in the IRA, which itself is an absolute behemoth of a climate bill, as you're aware. And it turns out that this group called Power Forward Communities, which was stood up after the IRA was passed in anticipation of this program and its grants being funneled out, received $2 billion. Just months.
$2 billion.
$2 billion. Yeah, with a B, to be very clear, an absolute massive haul for a group that, again, was brand new and was started with the help of Stacey Abrams. And so this really should raise all the alarm bells, all the sirens of any sort of watchdog, of anyone following, as you said, wasteful spending. This is borderline corrupt, and I'm sure there will be investigations into it. But again, this is a brand new group, and it reported at the time that it received this $2 billion from the Biden administration under the Greenhouse Gas Reduction Fund program, it had just reported $100 in total revenue.
Gosh, I could do
so
that.
That kind of
That's outrageous. I was
Yeah,
hoping you
and-
would say that because, Thomas, the timeline here that made me go, holy crap, this is outrageous. This Power Forward Communities organization here, they were founded in late 2023. They reported $100 in 100, not B billion, $100 in total revenue for the 3 months that they'd been in operation, and they got a $2 billion grant.
Exactly. Yeah. Sadly, that it's all true what you just said and what we're talking about here. And to be honest, when I came across this information, I had to quadruple check it because I didn't believe it. There's no way that a group that new, that inexperienced has the infrastructure or the staffing or the connections to be able to handle $2 billion. And so just to kind of, lead up to my next point here, because it continues to get crazier in my view. If you were to ask this group, now they didn't answer any of my questions or my inquiries as expected. They completely ignored me. But if you were to get a response, I would imagine that they would say, well, we have, partners that are that have a lot of experience. And so we're going to kind of lean on our partners to make sure all this funding is doled out to the appropriate areas and to the appropriate groups across the country. And the problem with that is the partners are themselves very, very political. And I'll just give you a few examples. One of the partners of this Abrams group is the Southern Economic Advancement Project. Another is Fair Count. Both of those groups were founded in 2019 by Stacey Abrams, and they have nothing to do with climate or energy efficiency or anything that the EPA does in its own mandate. They are racial equity and election-related groups that do mainly progressive things in Georgia. So that kind of makes me scratch my head. Another one is two other partners that this group boasts is the AFL-CIO and the American Federation of Teachers, two very powerful Democratic-aligned labor unions. And just to keep kind of not to throw too much information at you.
No, give it all.
Untangling this web. The American Federation of Teachers president, Randy Weingarten, as you and your listeners will know very well, she sits on the board with Abrams of a separate group called Climate Power. Climate Power unleashed the largest advertising campaign in support of Kamala Harris, $55 million in September. And so it all kind of leads back to Democratic elections, Democratic campaigns, Democratic and progressive causes, and interest groups. In other words, this money wasn't tied to Republican or conservative or, maybe pro-oil and gas interests. It all kind of found its way back to these environmental interest groups that were new, that were tied to Democrats, and so on and so forth.
So I'm going to ask some dumb questions. So when we're talking about this $2 billion that goes to this very fresh, brand new organization, had been in, 3 months that it had existed and reported $100 in total revenue. Correct my facts if I am off here. The $2 billion that this organization received that was led by Stacey Abrams, where did that $2 billion come from?
It came out of the Environmental Protection Agency. The reason why it came out of EPA was because EPA was tasked with overseeing a program called the Greenhouse Gas Reduction Fund. That program was created by Congress in the Inflation Reduction Act of 2022. So I'm not sure. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, this is taxpayer money. No question about that.
Yes. This was allocated by Congress, taxpayer money, 100%.
Do these organizations, once they're founded, do they support candidates that help their cause?
Well, if you tie it all back to its partners and kind of follow that thread, it almost always leads exclusively to Democrats and Democratic campaigns. However, Power Forward Communities itself is unable to give to campaigns. So you can certainly argue that the money will find its way there, but that isn't entirely crystallized as of yet.
Do they know what kind of expenditures Power Forward Communities, what kind of investments that they would make with that $2 billion? Have you been able to determine any of that yet?
Yeah. So what it is intended for is what's called energy efficiency upgrades. And all that is electrifying people's homes across the country. So they want to take the $2 billion and tell the federal government, trust us, we'll handle it from here, and then themselves act as a sort of federal independent agency and give money as they see fit to projects that would do things like, rip out gas stoves from apartment buildings and replace them with induction stoves, or rip out a gas-powered water heater from someone's home and replace it with a heat pump water heater that's electric and not gas-powered. So at the end of the day, it all leads back to the climate agenda and the agenda of transitioning away from fossil fuels.
Ooh, there's a lot of money in this. I hope that you continue to hustle on these stories and more, and I hope that you'll reach out to Brad, our producer, and I followed you on X as well. I'll be paying attention because I think one of the things we've discussed in the show, and we've definitely heard it from our listeners when in phone calls as well, is, we want to get all of the money clawed back that we can through Doge, but if people are gaming the system, if there's fraud and if there's abuse and if there's been a bureaucratic system that's set up to sustain itself in spite of the people who are funding it through their taxpayer dollars, we really want to know those names. And the Stacey Abrams one here is a very, very interesting one, I think.
Yeah, and we'll continue to dig through it.
All right. Well, Thomas, we appreciate your time today. Keep up with it. We'll be in touch and we'll continue to follow your work.
Really appreciate it, Annie.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Thomas Catenacci, reporter at the Free Beacon. You can go on X at Free Beacon and see the articles that he's done on the Stacey Abrams connection. Isn't it don't you hear that and you're like, well, of course. And at the same time, kind of ragey.
Yes. It makes me so incredibly mad, and yet how many times have we heard this over the last couple decades where you go, well, yeah, but it was always, yeah, that's probably happening. Now you see, no, that's actually happening, and it makes you mad again.
Don't you also look at Stacey Abrams like she just won't go away? Stacey Abrams. Oh, gosh, I'll be in trouble for this.
Go ahead.
Stacey Abrams and Carrie Lake.
Oh, God. I don't think anybody cares now.
Well, it's just how does Stacey Abrams continue to be on the scene?
Yeah, she's never won
What
anything.
value does she bring to the conversation?
$2 billion.
That's the value. Now we know. And it was your money. It's taxpayer money that gets laundered through a system. And, when you watch the left, especially the ones who are super close to it, the closer you are to the swamp, the stickier your boots are from the muck of the swamp, the more panicked you probably are right now, because it seems like there's a house of cards that's about to come crashing down because your system is no longer going to be funded. I've thought about this since yesterday, since we asked the question, do you want the Doge dividend? Should you get some of this money back? And I honestly, I understand the value of paying down the debt. That is the right thing to do if you trust the people who are doing it to do it. And I don't. So they should say, if you want the money, you can get the money. If you want the money to go to the debt, you can tell us. And we'll put the money towards the debt. I would much rather see the American people, it doesn't have to be all of it, but I think the American people need a piece back of what was theirs. And they need to keep doing the work that is necessary to reining all of this spending in. The burden should be on them. To do their job right. You stole our money to fund things that aren't about when it's $25 million for fill in the blank. It's not about the fill in the blank. It's about the people who are in the line that the money gets handed from here to here to here to here to make sure that the fill in the blank can be the thing that you say that we spent $25 million on. The people are lining their pockets all over the place. That's the swamp. And it needs to stop. And I think that the American people, I feel very convicted about this. And I've heard economic folks say it's going to cause inflation. You just throw all this money back into the system. Well, it was our freaking money. It's making me more mad every time I hear another story like this. You were able to take all of that money out of the American taxpayer pocket. Everybody's trying to figure out how to pay for eggs. Yes, I understand inflation and everything. We're trying to figure out how to do all of these things, but you got the money on your side of that line between my paycheck and your bank account, and you couldn't handle spending it. I feel like that's a you problem, not a me problem. I know it's not that simple, but it's just very an emotional reaction to it.
I'm really, really glad that obviously everybody's going to focus on Donald Trump and say, this guy, he's going to do it. He has put in place people across the board at all these agencies now who are equally unafraid to go after this stuff. And hopefully they keep their spine and they don't just find it and then go, look at how terrible this was, we're going to end it. No, you just keep going. You keep going, and I have faith right now that these people that are being put in charge of these agencies are going to do that.
Do right by the people that trusted you and put you in office. Do right by them. You owe them that. That's why they put you there. You're there to protect their money. You're there to protect their interest. It's not about you.
And I've said this off air. I don't know if I've said it on here yet, but if you owe the federal government money, if you took out student loans, if you have some sort of tax liability that you haven't met, and there's $1,000, $3,000 coming your way because of this, take it off the top. Apply it to the student loan. I think that would probably solve some problems as well.
Yeah.
Let's take a quick break. We're going to talk more about this, more about Kash Patel when we come back. There is some details to the Kash Patel confirmation vote. It has happened, 51 votes. Ryan will give us some more details on that. We'll hear the latest coming from Washington, D.C. We've got an FBI director. Man. No, everybody's confirmed, right?
It only took a month.
All the big guys, all the big ones are confirmed, right?
I think so. Well, I don't know about IRS. Billy Long?
McMahon is still up for the Department of Education.
Yeah.
That'll be a fiery one, especially because the Democrats have lost on all of the other ones. They're going to start putting all the chips in on the Department of Education one. Let's take a quick break. We'll get more details in a minute.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Hold on me like glue. Baby, I'm howling for you.
RulerFoods.com. Saving on groceries. Never been so easy. Go to Ruler Foods. Find one closest to you. I love the one in St. Charles. That's the one where we do a lot of our food drives, and we've done diaper drives there. I've visited it. It's wonderful. Of course, Collinsville one on the Illinois side is the one that we frequent the most, being that it is in our path and our normal transportation to and from each and every day. But there are Ruler Foods located all over the bi-state region, and all you got to do is go to rulerfoods.com and you can find the one that's closest to you. Did you know that Ruler Foods is by Kroger? They carry name brands of all of the products that you love, but they also carry Kroger brands at Ruler Foods prices for extra savings. We certainly partake in quite a bit of that ourselves in the Fry home. You can save on Kroger butter sticks. You can get 4 count of them, 3 for $10. They have Kroger Big K 12 packs, 3 for $10. Jack's Pizzas, 3 for $10, and Encore dinners, 3 for $10 as well. Save when you shop at Ruler Foods. Learn more at rulerfoods.com.
Hey, it's Tom Ackerman. Where do you go for your annual eye health examination? Ophthalmology Associates, of course. Doctors Greg Birdie and Ranjan Malhotra. Dr. Robert Bersati, he's the one I saw. Or Dr. Andrew Royer. They are available to you and are there to take care of all your vision needs at Ophthalmology Associates. They're on Manchester Road, a half-mile west of 270. Your vision is their business at Ophthalmology Associates. In fact, many of their patients are doctors themselves. That's why they call themselves the doctors, Ophthalmology Associates. Are your eyes itchy and scratchy? It could be more than just allergies. They're the leaders in dry eye diagnosis and treatment. They're the leaders in LASIK and discussing those procedures. And if you're having difficulty reading or driving at night, you have glare from oncoming headlights, could be early signs of cataracts, and they can talk to you about multifocal lens implants. Ophthalmology Associates, youridoc.com.
Taxes was not knowing your full financial picture. Now Taxes is getting and maximizing your refund all in one place. Credit Karma, where a TurboTax expert can do your taxes for you. They'll get you the most money back, guaranteed. Then you can do more with all that money, all in Credit Karma. Now this is Taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. Get started today. See guaranteed details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
Is the gold at Fort Knox? Yes or no? That's today's YouTube live chat poll. And let us know not only what you believe, but love to know what you think about the implications for that. It is 1:45. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Hey, it's Mark Cox. Join me and the St. Charles County Republican Central Committee for the Lincoln Trump Dinner Friday, March 21st at Old Hickory Golf Club. Get your tickets now and learn about sponsorship opportunities at 971talk.com/events.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on X at Annie Fry Show.
This world that I found is too good to be true. Standing here beside you, want so much to give you this love in my heart that I'm feeling for you. Let 'em see we're crazy.
This is the actual song playing as Kash Patel walks in slow motion into the FBI.
And everybody around him is like, dude, you don't need to walk in slow motion. He's like, yes, I do.
But I can, because I'm the director. We can build this thing together. Standing strong forever. Right? I always say this, but the song reminds me of the movie Mannequin.
Just let it play. Just let it play, Brad. Come on.
Yeah, this is totally Kash Patel. Nothing's going to stop us now. Kash Patel confirmed as the FBI director. We're going to hear from Chad Pergram. Let's just go straight to Chad Pergram so that Ryan and Chad don't say the exact same thing. But this is the...
Good afternoon, John. Well, Bernie Moreno, the Republican senator from Ohio, just read the vote total, 51-49. Mitch McConnell, the former Republican leader who announced his retirement earlier today, he voted yes. Some people thought he might vote no. But there were two GOP no's. You had Lisa Murkowski of Alaska and Susan Collins of Maine. So 51-49. They did not need J.D. Vance here to break a tie in this instance. I should note that this is only the second nominee who's gotten more than one GOP no. You had Mitch McConnell, who's voted, being the only no on the Republican side a couple of times here. You have to go back to Pete Hegseth in late January, who got three GOP no's: Collins, Murkowski, and McConnell, and Vance had to break the tie to confirm Hegseth as the defense secretary. But he's been confirmed, and now the Senate goes on to the budget debate. This establishes the framework for the president's domestic policy agenda. That's something they'll be getting into in just the next couple of minutes. Lindsey Graham, the Republican senator from South Carolina, who is the chairman of the Budget Committee, speaking right now. And they will have what they call a vote-a-rama on the Senate floor, where they vote, and they vote. And did I say they vote? They will be doing this all night long as they set up this framework for the president's budget proposal. John?
So there's Chad Pergram. Did you have anything to add to that?
I mean, not really. Murkowski and Collins were the two. And Murkowski said, my reservations with Mr. Patel stem from his own prior political activities and how they may influence his leadership. The FBI must be trusted as a federal agency that roots out crime and corruption, not focused on settling political scores. That's why he's nominated.
Yeah, that's what he's fighting against. It's just a big deal. We're talking about all of the big ones that were potentially going to be problematic for President Trump to get across the finish line have been confirmed. RFK Jr., Tulsi Gabbard, Pete Hegseth, and now Kash Patel. They're all in. And I think it's a pretty exciting day. I mean, if Donald Trump, he doesn't have excuses right now to not get done what he said he was going to do, because the Republicans, to the credit of the Republicans in the Senate, they got it done. I get it if, like, Susan Murkowski and Susan Collins and Lisa Murkowski, I actually conflated them. If they vote against him and they know that he's going to pass, I don't really care. I'm not surprised by that vote.
It doesn't bother me when Collins does it. When Murkowski does it, because she's from Maine. And it's a very...
Murkowski is from
I'm sorry,
Alaska.
I got it backwards. Collins from Maine. When Collins does it, it's like, okay, you're playing the middle person. I understand that. And it plays well with your voters in Maine. When Murkowski does it, you're from Alaska. You're from a red state. Just get over your so-called...
They keep electing her. Plus, they have the weird voting system up in Alaska that makes it complicated. Here's interesting news, and I don't know if maybe you guys know more about this. Ethan, if you're listening and you want to come in and talk about this, I saw on Twitter, X, the Cardinals tweeted out more ways to watch. Subscribe to FanDuel SN_MW, so FanDuel Sports Network _MW, which I assume is Midwest, to stream the Cardinals locally throughout the 2025 season. View plans, prices, and availability in your zip code at cardinals.com/TV. Is it not going to be super complicated to find your sport and watch it? I love streaming. I like being able to say, I just want this. You know, when you're paying for cable, you're paying for a whole bunch of stuff that you're never going to watch. But at least you have all of the things, the key things that you do want to watch. Except for now, you don't have that anymore. And how many streaming things do you subscribe to at this point? Do you just subscribe to a lot of stuff right now?
Yeah, about 5 or 6 at least.
I generally, I've explained this before, but my husband and I, like, if we're watching a show, that's the one we subscribe to. We cancel everything else. Disney Plus, we always have in our house with the kids, but Disney, we've actually got the Hulu connection to Disney Plus now because it has a much broader array of videos. A lot of the Fox videos, when they bought all of these different entities, those are all on there right now. So we have Disney, we have Hulu. I resubscribed to Netflix for something. I can't remember what it was initially. Oh, I think it was to watch Harry Potter. Did they have some of the Harry Potter movies like a while ago, and then they moved? So then I subscribed. I have HBO Max. I might have Paramount right now. I shouldn't. If I do, I should cancel it because I don't think I'm watching anything on it.
Man, you know what has nothing is Peacock. I bought that for Black Friday sale, and I'm like, what was the purpose of this? It's got
You
nothing.
just got it because it was cheap?
It was cheap, yeah. And usually there's a show or two that I can
There are
find
no
on each
cancellation
one.
fees, and it usually costs the same to subscribe at any given time. So, like, you could cancel it today and then just subscribe in 2 months if something else comes up on it. And
Well, I got the
saved a
year
month.
package, though.
Oh.
It was like $20 for the whole year. I'm like, sure, $20? I don't think I've watched a single thing on there.
I clicked on it and go to cardinals.com/TV. FanDuel Sports Network is your home for St. Louis Cardinals. Previously known as Bally Sports Midwest, will televise all regular season games that are not exclusively televised nationally. So sometimes you'll see them. It'll be like the TWIB game or ESPN coverage or whatever. New in 2025, fans in the Cardinals television footprint will be able to subscribe directly to FanDuel Sports Network to stream Cardinals games. So you subscribe. I'm reading this right now for the first time. Fans in the local region can subscribe directly to the network. They can purchase a monthly, season pass, or annual subscription. I mean, I really wonder what this is going to end up doing to, I got to put in my zip code. Okay, so I'm looking right now. You can get a 7-day free trial, and it's $20 a month or $190 a year.
I've actually done this.
So you get to stream your teams, watch live local NBA, NHL, MLB games all season, enjoy select WNBA, Professional Women's Hockey League, and more. I wonder if Indiana's games are going to be on there. Select your favorite team to customize your experience. Never miss a moment with on-demand replays. just wonder. I do believe that this is the future of sports. You get to subscribe to these things, but have y'all added up your cost to access all the different platforms? And I also am curious, as a fan of the Cardinals, is the baseball going to be worth $20 a month? That's really what I want to know.
I will wait until June.
No,
I think we'll know before June.
That's like all the hopeful time. That's when you're.
Well, that's when you'll know whether it's worth it.
Well, it was a rough April. Will you subscribe to this?
I never have. I can't imagine that I will. Wasn't there talk at some? I'm so behind on this.
Don't you watch hockey?
Not faithfully. I watch baseball and hockey.
Is it
just
because
kind
you
of
can't get the channel?
Whenever they're on, and whenever it gets exciting, like this 4-team thing is super exciting. I really want to watch that.
Yeah, but that's not on FanDuel.
But that's not on FanDuel, which I don't even know. But wasn't there a talk at one point that the MLB network was going to become the hub for all games?
I think that had to do with the lack of a better solution. I think it was like, well, they got to see him somewhere.
So they just abandoned that once they...
Well, I guess maybe FanDuel got their act together in time.
Yeah. I mean, I subscribe to this. I have... And you can pick which season. So if you're just a baseball fan, you can just subscribe to the baseball season. If you're just a hockey fan, you can subscribe to just the hockey season. To me, the biggest pain is like, oh yeah, the NBA is on there, and until you go in and select what your favorite teams are, when you go into the app, it just automatically wants to feed you the NBA games, and I'm like, no, thank you.
The one big benefit to the streaming thing and being able to subscribe to whatever team, whether it be through FanDuel or wherever you are, is if you're not in the local area, you can follow a team so much easier.
But you can't with blackout rules in the MLB.
You can't stream this somewhere else?
No,
you can't buy it?
It's geofenced. So if you go outside, you'll be in a blacked out area and you won't be able to stream it.
Wow, then never mind.
And that's because of these individual streaming issues. That's what's such a big issue with streaming MLB specifically. The NFL isn't like that because the NFL handles all of the NFL TV rights for every team. Teams don't have individual contracts.
You're not going to do it?
I don't think so. Are you?
I don't know. Would probably do it maybe, but I'm probably going to figure out what $20 a month I'm not spending. I'm thinking right now, like, I'm spending $20 a month on stuff I don't need. I'd probably use this more.
Yeah.
I hope it's worth the watch is what I'm really wondering about. All right, stick around. Annie, you're okay in the next hour.
Why do the national tax resolution firms need the tiny fine print at the bottom of all their TV ads? Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. You don't hear fast-talking disclaimers in our ads because the claims we make are 100% transparent. The Lance Story Law Firm primarily focuses on one thing, IRS problems, and we're regulated by the Bar Association, and we have a AAA rating with the Better Business Bureau. IRS issues are serious legal issues. The Lance Story Law Firm has helped thousands of clients navigate the best resolution plans, and we tell you up front exactly how much it'll cost. Tax resolution law is all we do. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure salesperson, give us a call at the Land Story Law Firm, located right here in St. Louis. Call today to schedule your free consultation with me, 314-260-6120, or visit LanceDruryLaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Farming's hard. To feed the world, farmers have to work the land, brave the elements, and fight the battle against weeds. Weeds reduce crop yields, so prices go up and everybody gets less to eat. But 50 years ago, farmers got a new tool to fight weeds, glyphosate. It kills weeds while protecting the harvest. Time and again, it has been approved by the EPA and by leading regulatory bodies around the world. It helps enable practices that reduce erosion and keep soil healthy, which is good for the earth. Farming's hard, but it's a little easier with glyphosate. Learn more at go.bayer.com/glyphosate. Paid for by Bayer.
Your home is your sanctuary. Get the peace of mind you deserve with a free estimate on a Generac home standby generator from Generator Supercenter. They're the nation's #1 Generac generator dealer. With expert installation and 24-hour monitoring, Generator Supercenter won't leave you in the dark. Financing is available. Take control of your power today with Generator Supercenter of St. Louis. Call 314-499-2020. That's 499-2020 or GeneratorSuperCenterofStLouis.com. That's GeneratorSuperCenterofStLouis.com.
Do you ever wonder if you've saved enough to retire? Discover how you could make your money go a lot further in retirement in a 3-hour adult education class called Retirement Planning 101. Hey guys, it's Dave Glover here. This one-night class is taught by a fiduciary advisor from Financial and Tax Architects with decades of financial planning experience, and they're held at colleges and libraries throughout St. Louis. You'll learn about reducing your taxes, maximizing your Social Security, paying for health care, and more. There's no cost. We would ask that you bring 3 canned goods that we're going to pass on to the St. Louis Crisis Nursery. So you have 2 jobs when it comes to retirement, in my humble opinion. One is saving the money, putting it away. And then the other, just as important, is how do you take it out and what do you do with it after that? Find out at Retirement Planning 101. Simply call 314-350-8110. Again, no money necessary. 314-350-8110. 350-8110.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-500-5000.
That's 314-500-5000.
All on the free Odyssey app.
This is a Fox News alert. A new FBI director is confirmed. I'm Lisa Brady.
The yeas are 51. The nays are 49. The confirmation is confirmed.
Kash Patel just winning Senate confirmation with 2 Republicans joining Democrats to vote against him. Alaska's Lisa Murkowski and Susan Collins of Maine.
This is only the second nominee who's gotten more than 1 GOP no. You have to go back to Pete Hegseth in late January, who got 3 GOP no's. Collins, Murkowski, and McConnell, and Vance had to break the tie to confirm Hegseth as the defense secretary.
Fox's Chad Pergram on Capitol Hill. More criticism of Ukraine's president from the White House.
National Security Advisor Mike Waltz says President Trump is obviously very frustrated with Ukraine's president, Volodymyr Zelensky.
Some of the rhetoric coming out of Kyiv, frankly, and insults to President Trump were unacceptable.
Waltz also criticized Zelensky for turning aside a U.S. proposal for access to Ukraine's rare earth minerals as part of a cost-sharing agreement.
It can only be described as a historic opportunity.
Waltz did not directly answer questions about whether Ukraine is responsible for Russia's invasion nearly 3 years ago, or if President Trump considers Russian President Vladimir Putin a dictator.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. New York's governor reportedly set to announce she will not remove New York City Mayor Eric Adams from office, but plans to increase oversight.
Guardrails could include putting a state deputy inspector general in place to focus on city administration, as well as creating a fund for top city officials, such as the city council speaker and the city's public advocate, to hire lawyers to sue the federal government if the mayor will not.
Fox's Gernal Scott. Mayor Adams has denied any deal with the Trump administration on immigration to get a federal corruption case against him dropped. America is listening to Fox News.
During tax season, your info travels lots of places you can't control.
W-2 arriving from payroll platform 3.
Everything criminals need to steal your identity is on your W-2.
Last call for accountant and home office, 1 minute.
LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points per second.
Tax preparation data centers with service to IRS. All aboard.
If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Why pay more for prescriptions? Stop overpaying and start saving with SingleCare. It's easy. Find your prescription on SingleCare.com, show the coupon at the pharmacy, and start saving. SingleCare works at pharmacies nationwide and is completely free to use, whether you have insurance or not. So the next time you fill a prescription, check SingleCare to make sure you're getting the best price. Take control of your prescription costs. Go to SingleCare.com or download the free app today.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
It is just plain cold. Air direct from the Arctic, 18 for the high. Tonight, clear and cold, down to 5. Friday, sunny skies, very cold start, 28 Friday afternoon, 15 Friday night. Gets a little better over the weekend. Saturday, sunny, 38 in the afternoon. Sunday, sunny and 48. Monday, 58. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Hi, I'm Bob Kershaw with Retirement Advisory Group. Are you worried about market volatility? Are you concerned your money won't last you through retirement?
Hi, I'm Tammy Kershaw, and as a family-owned business, we are committed to protecting your retirement, whether you're nearing retirement or already retired. We have a lot of folks that aren't aware of all the new investment choices that are available, which give you growth and protection from losses at the same time. Are you aware of all the fees that you are currently paying? We can show you how to avoid those fees. So come in now for your free retirement review and get a second opinion on your retirement plan. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of our latest edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. Let us show you how to retire with confidence.
We are proud to say we haven't lost a penny of our clients' money in 39 years, and we won't lose a penny of yours either. Let our family help your family. Call us now at 314-993-9494 or go online to retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
Rhino Shield is far superior to even the best traditional exterior house paint. Rhino Shield is 8 to 10 times thicker than paint and comes with a 25-year transferable warranty. Rhino Shield is the only ceramic coating company that has been chosen by Disney, This Old House, and 3 times on HGTV's Curb Appeal, where every episode is concentrated on unpainted brick, bonds and seals to stucco, wood, hardy, block, color lock, masonite, and more. No better product for those steel aluminum-sided homes that have become, chalky and tired looking. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. After 15 years, we've got a great reputation and a superior product. As long as it's affordable, why wouldn't you do it? Before you make the costly mistake of painting with traditional paint, you'd be best served to call Rhino Shield today. We are the experts and our evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
I'm Dr. Nick Barnes at Health From Within Family Chiropractic in Rock Hill. At Health From Within, our mission is to transform the way you manage your health by bringing you the truth about health and healing. We use proven techniques to remove interference in the nervous system and maximize health naturally, without drugs or surgery. Connect with me at healthfromwithinstl.com and join me for Maximize Living on this station every Sunday at 8 a.m. or download the Maximize Living podcast, healthfromwithinstl.com.
Choose from select Superstar Premium, Extreme, or Platinum batteries at O'Reilly Auto Parts and get up to a $15 gift card after rebate. For power, performance, and reliability, choose Superstar batteries only at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
SLU men's basketball is here Saturday at 1:30 on 97.1 FM Talk. SLU versus Rhode Island, both looking to break out into the top of the conference late in the season. Tune in for the Billikens game at 1:30, pregame starting at 1:15.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us, that's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Well, think about it. Donald Trump announces the External Revenue Service, and his goal is very simple. His goal is to abolish the Internal Revenue Service and let all the outsiders pay. I mean, this is someone who is focused on America.
That is the Commerce Secretary, Howard Lutnick, talking about the Trump desire, the ultimate goal to abolish the IRS with the ERS. Tariffs. Is that, I don't know. Let's go to the resident economist in the room, Brian.
This is, that was a joke, but this is huge news. This is enormous. I'm so glad you played this because I thought this was undercovered by the major news that he's attempting, he's saying that Trump is attempting to get rid of the IRS. Well, to do that, what you have to do is basically get rid of income tax. And he's going to try to replace the tax that the federal government makes off its citizens with tariff money. That is a huge shift in the way our entire economy would work.
Yeah, I think that it's wild to continue to watch him say really, really wild things. And then the question, I was like, I don't know, can you do that? And then the next question is, well, why can't you do it? And maybe there's a good answer to why you can.
It's just not been done in the modern era. This is something that apparently had been done in the late 1800s, and it's why there was no income tax back then. And Trump's saying, well, why couldn't you do it now? But this is why I like him. Let's say that we find out halfway through this experiment that, man, this is not working. I think that he would go, yeah, let's correct course here, but he's trying things that nobody would think to try.
I think it's really important for all of us to understand at the same time that all of this Doge stuff, trying to figure out all the spending that we're making, we can take in less money if we're spending less money.
Yeah.
Now we have to deal with the debt, but you can't just you can't have all these financial obligations and dramatically change the situation so that you spend the same amount of money, but now we'll just make China pay for it, make Mexico pay for it, make all these other places pay for it. You can't do that. Spending is something we have said for so long. It'd be nice to lower spending, but nobody's going to be able to go in. No one's going to be able to win an election by saying, I'm going to cut spending. Everyone's going to go, oh, boo-hoo, how's that hurt me? There might be some people who are hurt by it. I would always remind you that if all of that money exists out there and these people really believe in it, you can still donate money to nonprofits and get Sesame Street in Iraq.
Yeah, you really could do that.
I encourage you to. If
In
you
fact,
really believe in it.
If it has to do with any U.S. politician, I bet they'd reach out to you and ask you if you'd like to donate to them.
Go ahead and fund it. And if you can't get people who are willing to donate to it, then maybe it's not as important as you thought.
Maybe the $1 billion that Kamala Harris's campaign kept bragging about was not as organic as you would hope.
Yeah, go back to the interview with Thomas Catenacci, or the Free Beacon, and ask yourself, how do the Democrats get all of this money all the time? I have a question about how Republicans get all the money all the time. The ones who are lifelong career politicians. How did you get so rich being in government? I have questions. Hopefully we'll get down to some of those answers. A Fox News report, first on Fox, a new initiative is tracking government agency spending in comparison to growth, and a conservative fiscal watchdog group has discovered what it deems to be an alarming trend. Okay, according to Open the Books, staff levels at the Department of Education have decreased since 2000. The Department of Education is employing less people.
Okay.
Consistently since 2000. Their spending has grown by 749%.
749%.
Open the Book says the calculation is even more galling after recent statistics from the National Assessment of Educational Progress showed that student achievement has still not recovered since it saw big drops during the COVID-19 pandemic. Open the Book's data on the Department of Education is part of a wider initiative being unveiled by the group on Thursday to chart agency outlays versus agency spending in an effort to provide the public with a, quote, clearer picture of the government as it stands. As Open the Books tracked agency spending versus size, it found that federal agency spending has far outpaced the rate at which these agencies have grown over time. I think that the Department of Education conversation is the nomination, McMahon, who's been nominated to be the Secretary of Education. I think we're going to see this be an incredibly nasty, angry, hostile. We're going to get some great songs out of this one. They are coming our way.
I mean, that's how we all win, is we get more protest songs from Democrats on Capitol Hill.
In some cases, such as with the Department of Education, the group found as much as a 7-fold increase in spending, while staff headcounts remained relatively static or even went down. At the National Institutes of Health, for example, staff levels appreciated by 21.5%, but spending grew 301%.
It's interesting to hear how much money is being spent at the Department of Education, especially in increased spending. While we just did that interview with Thomas Catenacci in the last hour, and he said that a lot of the money that was being funneled through the EPA was ending up with the National Teachers Association. That makes no sense when you have a bloated Department of Education.
I'm watching this education thing very closely because the suggestion that they would abolish the Department of Education, my husband's a public school teacher, so he is paying attention to all of this. But of course, I mean, we get we get the union stuff in the mail at our house, I used to read it, and then I'm like, this just makes me mad. Why am I reading this? So I stopped. But I'm also, at least until, I don't even want to say this on the air because this will probably put an end to it. I'm on the Facebook groups for specifically the IEA, but also the NEA. I've followed all of them. And people are big mad about the thought that the Department of Education is going to go away. We're going to speak next week with Corey DeAngelis about it. And I'm just kind of tucking away some of the Facebook posts that are being put out there about why this is so bad. And every single post that I see on X or on Facebook that's like, this is what the Department of Education does. And then they list the things that they don't do. I'm like, I don't think they need to be there. I know that you're advocating for its existence, but that's not the effect that it's having on me. So much of education is determined by the state. And I really think that education should be determined as close to local as possible. And when you look at the things that the Department of Education does, a lot of it is propping up a system. And a lot of times, this is I got to stop giving tips. I got to stop giving tips.
No tip, no taxes on those, though.
I'm going to tax you on this tip. You have to, if you do this, you have to send me $2 billion.
You only made 100 in the past. What's going on?
Just following the plan. The advocates for the Department of Education, especially in the structure and the status with which it's existing right now, the number one place they go to is special education. And the way that everything is set up right now, the things that are listed as the priority that would, you can't do this because if you did this, who would pay attention to that? Special needs programs would go to the Department of Health and Human Services. They're not like, we don't do special needs anymore. No. It's going to the Department of Health and Human Services, which probably has at least a toe dipped in whatever that circumstance is to begin with. Money block granted back to the states by the Treasury Department. If you have monies that are out there that are in education, that money is still going to exist, but it is in many cases managed at the state level, that would be emphasized. The two things that they generally, well, three things. The three things that are generally talked about when making great, bold statements for the preservation of the Department of Education. The first one is special needs, which I think is a very important point to put out and for the other side to have an answer to. You can't just stop having special needs care. But there's an answer for that, and it's the Department of Education is not necessary in order to maintain it. The second thing that you see quite a lot is who's going to manage the discrimination that takes place in these schools. Oh. It's all about the DEI initiatives, and I'm like, I don't like the way the public education system, and I don't like the way a lot of efforts have been made to force feed a white fragility, Ibram X. Kendi or whatever his name is, like all of that. Go watch Am I Racist by Matt Walsh. Get that stuff out of the schools. Of course, Black history is American history. There should be no American history that's being taught without including the understanding of Black history and how Black individuals are part of our American history. I think that all should be taught. But how do you teach it? What is the end game of teaching it? When you're looking at a diverse group of kids in a classroom, is the end result of that a guilt trip for some of them and a victimization of the others that didn't walk into that classroom feeling that way, but they're walking out feeling that way? I've got a huge problem with that. So the diversity thing is definitely something that is really, really pushed. And then the question is, what about the teachers? The support of the teachers, the teachers, the teachers, the teachers. I'm married to a public school teacher. I love a teacher. Am I contractually obligated? Is that how the government looks at it right now?
Yeah. When you sign the marriage document.
It's a contractual obligation.
Yeah.
I absolutely love a public school teacher, and I see what he does in the classroom, or I know what he does in the classroom, and I think he is doing amazing work by teaching in a public school. But is the system that's set up right now the only one that can sustain education? Because if it is, it's a really crappy one, because our kids aren't learning what they're supposed to learn. They're not coming out products of a quality education system that prioritizes their learning and is successfully pushing them to achieve the things that they're supposed to achieve. It really feels to me like the entire system is set up to make sure that teachers look like they're okay doing a fair enough job. And that's not good for the kids. So here's my $2 billion tip to all the people advocating to keep the Department of Education. You should start talking about the kids. You should stop talking all about yourselves, and you should start communicating about the benefits of what the students will learn in the system that includes the Department of Education. Because right now, it's not about that at all. It's a lot about a boohoo DEI realm that they see the entire world in. And if you're unlucky and you put your kid in a classroom and you don't really realize it, and they're being taught all this DEI stuff, that's not part of the actual curriculum, and they can't do math and they can't read at grade level, we are upside down. So if you want to advocate for the retention of the Department of Education, you should start talking about the actual education part of the students. Because I don't care about preserving the system that keeps us in a failing education system that doesn't reward the great teachers and continues to reward the crappy teachers. That results in a crappy education and an undereducated populace. That we're so important to fund that public education. If we can do better, we should. And I would have to look at the results right now and hope to God that we can do better.
They don't want to talk about that. They don't want to talk about the fact that we're 40th in the world in education ranking. And they don't want to talk about the fact that we're also number 1 in spending per pupil.
But
they don't want to talk about those
things.
To
be fair, part of that reason that we're number 40 is because we test everybody, even the special needs students. And so that's going to drag your averages down. The countries that are leading do not test or take care of special needs students.
We're still number 1 in spending.
Yes.
And what are we getting from it? That's the point of why are we not talking about what are you getting for being number 1 in spending? You should be number 1 in outcome if you're spending all that money.
You get
and we're not.
You get what you incentivize is what we're finding out. Some of the best funded schools in the area are some of the worst schools to attend. And it's because they look at it and say, well, this school's struggling mightily. Let's dump more funds in. Well, the school never gets any better because if they would, guess what's going to happen to those funds? They're going to start drying up. So again, you get what you incentivize. So it's actually having the reverse effect of what they want it to have.
What are they incentivizing?
Well, it looks like whenever they put money into these schools that are failing, they're incentivizing failing schools. The failing schools...
No, they're just protecting the people in the system. I don't think it has anything to do with the schools so much. I mean, we've got local schools here that are under state control. They're not doing a bang-up job when they become under state control. What are they incentivizing?
Well, in effect, they're dumping money into these schools, and the schools aren't getting better. So the schools know that if they do get better, they're going to lose those funds, and they don't want to lose those funds. So the scores will stay low, everything will stay low, and they'll keep getting that gravy train in. So like what you're saying, they're protecting people.
I just don't think the teachers are out there right now trying to keep the scores low so that the money can
Well, the teachers aren't doing it.
The money is what you're saying.
Yes.
Is doing that. The arguments that people are making, you just listed several of them. Those are a little bit more specific than even the ones I've heard. The ones I hear are basically, oh, you're going to get rid of the Department of Education. You must hate children. Like they're that stupid. Or you're going to get rid of the Department of Education. You must hate education.
I also think that when you threw out the 40th in the world or whatever statistic that Brad shot down, I don't think that you could go to a lot of places right now and you're going to quickly understand that kids are not learning at the grade level that they're supposed to. Teachers are incentivized to pass kids, to not fail kids. I know during COVID, one of the things that happened in the state of Illinois is no kid could leave COVID with a worse grade than they started.
Were you incentivized to do anything?
Well, they didn't want to punish kids. So then the kids get passed along and they haven't learned what they've learned before, but they continue to get passed along and passed along and passed along. It doesn't matter if you're 40th or you're 20th. It matters if you're doing the work to get the job done so that these kids learn. And I think that's a fact that on the whole, they are not. And that there are constantly people looking for alternatives, whether they can afford it or not, to try to put their children in a situation where their children will thrive. So, let's take out the special needs kids if that's what needs to be happening. Are we number one? Because if we're not, then what the hell are we doing? I think there's a huge problem there. And if the Department of Education's purpose is to sustain the system that it is right now, it's not good enough for me. Like I said, $2 billion, and you can use my tip. We'll be right back.
I know I never think before I jump, and you're the kind of guy the ladies want. And there's a lot of cool chicks out there. I know that I went psycho on the phone. I never leave well.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Fry Show.
Never find another like me. I'm the only one of me. Baby, that's the fun of me. You're the only one of you. Baby, that's the fun of you. And I promise that nobody's gonna love you like me.
The Retirement Advisory Group, Thomas Helbig, Bob Kershaw, and Tammy Kershaw want to help you make sure that retirement is a breeze. You've worked really hard for it. You've saved for it. Now you want to make sure you protect it when you're not building it any longer. That's where the Retirement Advisory Group comes in. 59 and a half or older is the magic number. If you are at that age, about at that age, I want you to reach out to the wonderful people at the Retirement Advisory Group and make sure that they sit down. Free conversation with them. It doesn't cost you anything. There's no obligation when you're done with the meeting. If it's not for you, you can walk away. It didn't cost you anything other than just a little bit of time. But you can figure out how to protect yourself from market downturns. You can make sure you insulate yourself from the scary stuff that happens, but still be able to participate in the gains. That's what happens when you work with the Retirement Advisory Group, and they're just one phone call away. 314-993-9494. That's 314-993-9494. Give them a call and let them know that you heard about them on the Annie Fry Show, retirementkey.com.
Hey, Jimmy Fallon here with a quick listening tip for you. If you miss Fox Across America or any of your other Fox News favorites, do not worry. I got you covered. You can stream previously aired shows with Rewind, available exclusively on the free Odyssey app. So if you're busy work days, it doesn't mean you have to miss out on the news. Listen to your Fox shows on your time with Odyssey. To get started, just download the free Odyssey app and search for Fox News Radio. That's Odyssey, Audacy. I'm spelling it out in case you're a little slow like me.
Did you all hear what's going on with these energy mandates? I've been told they don't make a lot of sense, and I'm in the business. I agree 100%. Actually, they make zero sense. So here's the easiest thing, and the only thing I have on a recommendation. You're going to need a new furnace or a new air conditioner. Just call me for a just common sense approach to your heating and cooling needs for your house. If your system is old or you just want to replace a system, now just call me. It's Bart Inman. One easy number in Missouri and Illinois. The easiest and the only one, Missouri and Illinois, is 314-293-2600. Again, it's Bart Inman, 314-293-2600, or on the internet, it's bartinman.com. That is Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is celebrating 55 years of residential and commercial service, maintenance, and installation of heating and cooling systems. Get in your comfort zone. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
On-time news. On your time. Download the Odyssey app and dip in whenever you want. And stay on top of what's happening. 97.1 FM Talk on the Odyssey app. This is the Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on X at Annie Fry Show.
Just like a photograph, you made me feel like this will last forever looking in your eyes.
And now it's time to play Is Annie Okay With This?
Hi, Trisha.
Hi, Annie and crew.
How are you?
Fine. How are you doing?
Doing well.
Good.
How's the baby?
He's great. Yeah.
How old?
7 months.
Man.
Yeah. He'll
Scooting?
be driving soon.
Crawling?
Rolling a
Relocating?
lot. Yes, he can get from one room to another on his own.
Yeah, that's when the fun starts.
It has begun.
Can you imagine having two?
No.
At the same time, at the same age?
Mm-mm. No, I cannot. Well, and this one's getting so heavy. I don't know how parents do it.
Ryan, when you were in the throes of twins at 7 months, like for me, things start to get real stressful when they start relocating until they can consistently communicate thoughts, feelings, expectations, and I can do that to them as well.
When you can stick both of them on a bumbo, it was okay.
Sure. You leave for a second, you come back, they're there.
They're there.
If they're not there, stress.
Yeah.
Can you remember that time very vividly? Have you blacked it out of what it was like to have twins?
No, I remember it very vividly. I do not remember it fondly. They say that after time you look back on those periods with a lot of rose-colored glasses. And that did happen a little bit, but not enough to overcome how hard it was and terrible it was. Because it was hard and it was terrible.
You were good at hard, and then at terrible, you just went into your feels.
It was, it was rough, man. It was that. Plus, we had been married for 7 years before we had kids, so we had kind of gotten into
life
a groove,
established of this is what it was.
And
like.
it was like, nope, that's changing right now.
It does with one, so I don't understand the two thing. I just, with anything, you just hunker down and do it. Like right now I have 4 kids and I'm running around like crazy all the time, doing a wide variety of things. And I often think to myself, one day I'll be like, how did I do that? That was a lot. Mm-hmm. But twins, man.
Yeah, I mean, with one, it's month by month. I look back on the previous month and I'm like, whoa, how did we get through that? And then the next set of adventures begins. Now his new thing is we've got a monitor on him at night, and his new thing is moving, so he's not on the monitor. So
He's hiding. He's hide and seek.
It's
fun.
Super great at 2 a.m. when I wake up, and I'm like, is the baby in? I know he's in there. Yeah, I know he's in there.
Is the baby
change
here?
the framing?
It's almost like he's doing it on purpose.
It's a king-size crib.
Yeah.
You can't go wide
For the
shot.
king that
No,
he
and
is.
I'll walk in and he'll be like curled up in the corner that can't be seen.
Does he know that gets you to come in? Is that why he's doing
Well,
it?
he stays asleep. No, I lay there and I think I know nobody grabbed him. I know he's still in there. I know
He's doing it on purpose.
He's
just trying to get you out of
doing it
bed.
on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
It's working.
Yeah. Welcome to parenthood.
Yeah. All right, you ready for this?
No.
Me neither.
Yes,
Florida
I am.
woman is behind bars after she allegedly attacked a man with a garden hoe for canceling plans. The 47-year-old had plans to hang out with this guy, and he bailed. That made her very mad, so she drove to his home around 3 a.m. She climbed a fence, pushed through a door, and began punching him. Then she grabbed the garden hoe
Because
and
she
sliced
didn't
his
get
arm.
picked up for a date?
Because he canceled on her.
Was
It-
this
it
the first
doesn't
time he
even-
had canceled?
That I don't know.
Because if
I prepare.
if he had canceled several times, I'm with the lady.
Really?
Yeah.
He went to the hospital. She went to jail.
Do you remember that song from our youth? It was "You the Hoe."
No.
Yeah.
What? No. What?
You don't remember that?
No, I
Ethan,
don't
do you know
remember
the
that.
song?
Sing it again.
It's just use a hoe. Ho, use a hoe. I said that.
Man, I
No.
mean, not even ringing a bell.
Nothing.
Really?
No.
You remind me of my husband. He didn't exist in pop culture for all of his youth.
Well, I did, but I don't
Yeah,
remember
he wasn't
that.
nearly as hip
Ryan
and cool as
was
you,
the
right?
face
Ryan
of
was
pop
in a
culture.
band.
Right. I was, yeah.
Just look at this face.
I was in a band. It's called Slipknot. Yeah.
thought
You
it
didn't
was-
think I was going to say that, did you? I was in Slipknot.
What's the question?
Are you okay with canceling plans?
Canceling plans. If I make plans, I pretty much 100% of the time would like to cancel and just stay home.
Don't you cancel with me. I got a garden hoe.
I don't have any plans with you.
That's why.
It is why.
I get mad if you cancel.
Yeah. I don't know. If someone cancels plans on you, it's kind of like a snow day.
I think it's great. I love it. You tell me we don't have to do something, I'm like, all right.
But again, talking
Cool.
about the kids thing, like my life revolves around being where my kids need me to be. And I'm thinking about, I get articles served to me, I guess they know. But people who are empty nesters, and then maybe 10 years after you become an empty nester and you don't have things to do unless you make things for you to do, it's like they kind of get lonely. They're like, our whole life was consumed by our kids. And, we have friends, but maybe not like a ton of friends, and they don't know what to do with their time. So I don't know. I'm like just really trying to find something else to worry about, I think.
I'm trying to make a lot of plans, but for 2038, and on.
Yeah.
My calendar's full
When the kids are
in their late
enough
30s.
that-
Yeah.
Mhm.
Maybe then we can make some plans.
How's that
Don't
going?
cancel them.
Just like
It's a little
filling
slow.
up?
People are a little reluctant to commit to that far out, but I got a couple of dinners.
He intends to eat dinner in 2038.
So you're okay with canceling plans?
Yeah, even if you call me and you're like, I'm so wiped, I'm so tired, I would just really rather, just as long as you're honest. I'm never cool with lying. If people make a commitment and they come up with obvious bologna sausage reasons to not attend, forget about it. Just be honest. Be real. I can handle that.
So if I call and I'm like, I just lost my nose in a boating accident, you're going to be like,
Send me a picture.
We don't have plans, Ryan.
And you never will.
and we won't because I keep losing that nose.
Michigan judge sentences Walmart shoplifters to wash cars in the parking lot.
Michigan what?
Judge. The judge hopes the unusual form of community service will discourage people from stealing from Walmart. The car washes will be free. He also says, well, I guess it's a he. The judge also says Walmart is on board and will provide water and supplies. Annie, are you okay with shoplifter car washes?
So if you get caught for shoplifting, you then have to do car washes in the parking lot of the place you stole from?
That's right.
Do you want those people touching your car?
As long as they're hot.
And in bikinis.
Mm-hmm. And just kind of partying. Like, yes, it's a punishment, but have fun with it, I'm not here to look at your downtrodden face. I'm just here to get my car washed and watch you do it.
Yeah, what are you looking at if you're not looking at their face?
I'm just judging their job. I'm getting out and watching the car. I'm like, I don't think you got that door very well. Criminal.
You get it all out.
Yeah.
I'm in favor of thoughtful, unique ways of making people think about what they've done. But I don't think I want a petty theft to wash my car. I'm good. I'm going to club car wash.
I don't know why Walmart would want them back. Like, go ahead and hang out in our parking lot after you stole. And also,
the providing supplies and water is what got me.
Yeah, Walmart has to pay for these people to do the community service. Also, if this is the punishment for shoplifting and you're really hard up, why don't you go in Walmart, steal, and then it's basically like getting a job at Walmart.
I was just going to say, it's almost like getting a job.
Yeah.
But you probably, I don't know, are you making good on, are you washing as many cars as the value of whatever it is you stole?
I don't know.
That's why I want to become a judge, though. You are sentenced to become my pool boy.
Super weird. I was in Springfield this past weekend, and when I had a room full of girls, and the shampoo conditioner situation in the hotel room was not sufficient for all these girls who need to take all these showers, basketball tournament and everything. So we went to CVS. They had their Dove products locked up. Oil of Olay, you could steal that.
Oh, but Dove was top of
you
the...
had to ask to steal. Yeah. Why?
Is that a marketing thing by Dove? Like, I think we're going to start locking our product up.
Let's determine that we're high end by requiring CVS to lock our stuff up.
Oil of Olay's like,
and we don't want anybody to buy it. Because once it's locked up, I'm like, I'm not
I didn't.
calling a guy to
I
unlock
actually
it.
didn't end up buying it. I found some different bottles of it, like that were smaller down the aisle. I didn't buy the big ones.
I wonder if you ask for Dove, if the clerk is like, parlez-vous français?
Ask to see your ID.
Are you old enough to purchase this?
Welsh woman pleads guilty to sending fart videos to her boyfriend's ex.
Welsh woman.
Her boyfriend's ex
pleads guilty.
A 25-year-old woman in Wales was recently fined and given a restraining order after she admitted to harassing her boyfriend's ex by sending a series of farting videos.
This to me seems like how super overburdensome the system is in Europe to police everything you do and say. That if you're the judge in this, you guys you have to be like, we're taking this too far.
Come on.
I can't believe I'm spending my time like this.
JD Vance needs to address this.
No, I think we should let him continue to be stupid over there. Overseas.
She sent at least 8 videos where she can be seen laughing before placing a camera on her bottom and passing gas directly into the lens. She was fined $373, including $124 in compensation to the victim.
Well, where's the fine go?
To the victim.
No.
Part of it does.
Not all of it. 370 whatever, but a portion of that including?
I don't know where the rest of it goes to. The government?
It sounds like there's restitution for the fart-e. But the farter had to pay a fine. I think the government made money off this.
Imagine calling yourself a victim when you've received fart videos.
There was a quote that said that this woman didn't feel safe in
victimized.
her home.
She didn't feel safe in
She
her
wanted
home?
to feel safe in her home again, is what her victim statement said.
So the person sending the videos was a dude?
No, it was a girl.
Was sending it to
another girl, her boyfriend's ex. So
maybe the girl was just trying
women.
to send laughing videos, and that was a byproduct.
She was laughing so hard.
You got
every
this all
time.
wrong. I care
Muscle
about
spasm.
you.
Fart.
She was just like, I'm going to show her how good of a time I'm having. And then that was just a byproduct.
I don't need your man.
Is it just harassment?
Yes. Are you okay with farting videos?
No. No.
Come on.
No. Uninterested.
And
if YouTube was around when I was 10, that's
my
all I would have been interested in.
Why when you
Just-
were 10? That seems like something you do now.
Well, I just get bored with it
I'm
now.
afraid to admit that.
He's got a channel.
Yeah. It's called the Laughing Channel, and sometimes things happen.
And Trader Joe's is selling fertilized chicken eggs. A content creator incubated fertilized eggs purchased from Trader Joe's and hatched baby chicks. According to the TikToker, a case of 1 dozen fertile eggs hatched after just 3 weeks in an incubator produced 8 baby chickens. Annie, are you okay with hatching chickens you bought from eggs at the store?
Seems like a lot of work. Why would you do that? You could just buy chicks.
I don't know.
If you want chicks, we're talking about the animal.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, but
I was going to weave that around and
I
do
don't
some
want you
stuff,
to.
but let's
No.
just skip
Car
to the
wash.
end.
Let's
and-
just do.
Yeah.
What's the end?
Everybody knew that joke was coming. Let's just fast forward.
You ever go to Rural King and see the little chickies?
That's kind of where my mind was actually at, was thinking about Rural King in the little buckets. Have you ever walked your dog near that bucket?
It says don't bring dogs near the bucket.
I
There
have.
are signs up there.
I have.
So that's why the sign's there.
I had a St. Bernard.
It was
that
you.
dog did not care about anything. But when those chicks were around, it was like,
It's just like,
wait a minute. I forgot I was a dog. Here I am. I'm alive.
what did it want to do?
It wanted to eat them.
Oh, poor chickies. Your last one? You got one more? What do you got?
The Birkenstocks thing.
Go for it.
It's okay. German court rules Birkenstock sandals are a design, not art. German's Federal Court of Justice.
It's been settled.
Again, JD Vance. Get involved.
They ruled that Birkenstock sandals are not considered art, but rather comfortable footwear. The shoe manufacturer had
What are they
filed
spending their time on?
It's not art. That's comfortable footwear.
the
Walk through the Louvre.
shoe manufacturer. The shoe manufacturer had filed a lawsuit against competitors for
Who's
selling...
talking here? Ethan?
I don't. Was it me?
Yeah, it was your phone.
It's my phone.
Was it Siri?
I guess so.
Oh,
Guess so.
shush, lady.
They filed the lawsuit for selling similar sandals, claiming they were copyright-protected works of applied art. The court said no, stating that the design did not meet the level of individuality required for copyright protection. Annie, are you okay with Birkenstocks?
I don't have any. Everybody raves about them.
They're real comfortable.
I looked into getting some as a summer walking shoe because people say that they're great to walk in. So I'm not opposed to them. I don't have a problem with them, but I don't have any.
Man, my wife loves Birkenstocks. The problem is that she's had a couple pair of the sandals, and then we go on vacation or you're walking and it's like it rains and there's a puddle and you step in it.
And your toes.
Your shoes are ruined.
Yeah.
It's like, why did I just pay $150 for shoes that can't go in the rain?
Wait, they really can't?
No. It's like kryptonite for Birkenstocks.
That's all I got.
All right. We'll be back with the results to today's YouTube live chat poll. Is the gold at Fort Knox? Yes or no? Let us know. We'll be right back.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Stewart's American Mortgage is where you go to get your bagel loan if you're looking to get a mortgage, if you're doing a mortgage refinance. 314-324-4440 is the number to call. He is there to guide you through the process of that mortgage acquisition, whether it's your initial one on a home purchase or the refinance, and make sure that at the end you get that beautiful, beautiful realization of paying $0 in closing costs. So yes, you can go acquire that mortgage. You're going to, of course, get approved for the loan. If you're purchasing a new home with Stewie, once you get pre-approved, you are able to just go on his website and generate your pre-approval letters without having to have a middleman in there to make sure that you're always right there on the forefront of being able to make the offers that you want when you want. You are going to be a more competitive buyer. He can close in less than 2 weeks. If you're looking to buy a house, you have to reach out to Stewie to get the guidance that he can offer you. 314-324-4440, 314-324-4440. Google the Bagel Loan for more information. NMLS number 226715.
What's it going to take for you to realize the IRS is in full-blown attack mode, and if you have IRS issues, your timely response is critical? Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. We certainly know the IRS has ramped up efforts because we're seeing a lot more clients with threats of intents to seize property or levy rights to property. If you have IRS issues, call the Lance Drury Firm today. Today, don't wait. Those IRS notices have hard deadlines for exercising your appeal rights. If you miss the deadline, your rights to a legal appeal are gone. Let the Lance Drury Law Firm get between you and the IRS today, and we'll help you manage your case to achieve the best outcome. IRS problems are serious legal matters, so call Lance Drury Law Firm, located right here in St. Louis. Don't wait. Call 314-260-6120. That's 314-260-6120, and schedule your free consultation with me, Lance Drury, or visit LanceDruryLaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Hey guys, it's Mark Reardon. If you're struggling with low energy, performance issues, or weight gain, Game Day Men's Health has got you covered with testosterone therapy, ED treatments, and more in all of a relaxed man cave environment. At Game Day, you'll get a free testosterone test and consultation, all in just 1 hour. Game Day is the premier men's health clinic with locations in Chesterfield, O'Fallon, Missouri, and Glen Carbon, Illinois. Visit GameDayMen'sHealth.com. That's GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Get back in the game with Game Day Men's Health.
The YouTube live chat poll today is a doozy. I'm looking forward to seeing the results of this. Yeah, I said it. Is the gold at Fort Knox? Yes or no? Is the gold there? That's all we want to know. What do you think? Yes or no? 247. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Good afternoon. It's Mark Reardon getting set to go here. A very busy day. We have Jim Carafano coming up at 3:25 to talk about the Trump-Zelensky dust-up. Also, Kash Patel just confirmed as the new FBI director. We'll have the very latest on that. We get started here after Fox News at 3.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
I'm looking at the results of today's poll right now. A little bit early, yes. Is the gold at Fort Knox, yes or no? And it was 50-50.
That doesn't surprise me.
With 239 votes in, we're tied. So you've got about 7 minutes to get your vote in and tip it in onto one side or the other. I've got a few comments set aside here. Scooter said there's more likelihood of gold in Fort Knox than Oak Island. I don't know what that means.
It's a TV show.
Okay. Phenom said it better be there.
I like that.
Jackie said, yes, some of the gold. It's easy to assume some of it has been pillaged. RSG said, oh, man. But he said, oh, like AU.
AU, gold.
There's no gold in Fort Knox. I see what you did there.
That's great.
You know, I talk about reading Reddit all the time. There are two different kinds of threads on Reddit that I absolutely love. One of them is license plates. Have you ever seen those?
Mm-hmm.
Where they just take pictures and like the person can't figure out what the license plate is, so they put it up there and then you just get, it's like a puzzle.
Do you ever see ones that aren't anything and people assume they are?
We used to have a license plate that had the first initials of our names, and Jared, Annie, Charlie, Jensen, Evelyn, Molly spells Jack Gem. And we also had once J.A. Fry. And it looks like Jeffrey or something, or Jeffrey.
Yeah, Jeffrey.
But you'd have to know who we are to understand what it is. So once we did that, and people would always say to us, like, oh, what does that stand for? I'm like, it's the first letters of our names. I realized that a lot of people are probably doing that. So if I don't get it immediately, I don't try, because I just assume it's nothing, which is the wrong assumption, but it's how I get through the day.
First letters of our family would be Risker.
There you go. It almost says something. The other Reddit thread that I like to read or to take in, it's it's so silly, but it's random cookie cutters that people have and they don't know what they are. So they'll post like,
this is not what I was expecting you to say.
No, there are others that I read, but these are the fun ones. These are the thoughtless fun ones, and they'll just show a picture, an aerial picture of this cookie cutter. And if you think about cookie cutters, it's an outline of something, but it might be like a Santa Claus profile with the bag on the back. But that doesn't look like Santa Claus unless you know that that's what it is. So usually there's somebody in the thread that is able to identify what it is, but everybody else takes the picture and draws in different kinds of things that it could be, and it's just very funny.
Isn't that funny how those two things can coexist too? You're looking at, I wonder if all the gold in the nation is gone. What would the implications of that be? And also, does that license plate say naval man?
I don't know. Anyway, going back to the which is the AU. Ender says, no clue. I figure the goal ought to be there. So said yes. Big on the AU abbreviation here. Betsy said yes, really don't know. What are your thoughts on this?
I wouldn't be surprised if the amount of gold has been inflated over the years. Like that we actually don't have as much as we say we have. But to say that we don't have anything there, that they're just guarding this massive warehouse that's full of nothing.
Well, maybe it's full of something else.
Ooh, I didn't think about that. Ooh.
Mysterious.
That changes my vote. No, I'm gonna stay with the gold is at Fort Knox, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's less than they think.
Yeah. Brad, what do you think?
I don't think it's there. I think it's all gone. I think that they've moved it and used it for different things. I don't think anything nefarious happened to it. I just think that they used it. And so, no, it's not there, and it doesn't matter because we're not on the gold standard anymore.
John said there is no gold in Fort Knox. There has not been any gold in Fort Knox for decades.
John knows that, apparently.
Yeah, and he is Mr. Incredible. So probably
in his picture.
Terminate says if it hasn't been converted to Bitcoin yet, then yes, I think it's there. Are there smarter things to do with if we had the gold there? Are there smarter things to do than to keep it in gold?
Yeah, I mean, like he's saying, you could, this is economics speaking here, you could melt that down and put it in a computer. Bitcoin. That's how that works.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I read a book.
Is it called The Grocery List?
It's a pop-up book.
Ethan, do you have any thoughts on this?
Not really. I mean, I learned about this earlier from you. I had no idea really anything behind even that gold was even kept there in the first place. That's pretty new to me. So it's hard for me to have an opinion just with not hearing much on it.
From the Forbes article I was reading from earlier, Ron Paul, former Representative Ron Paul, said, I think the gold is there. Let's see, it says, I think the gold is there. Former Representative Ron Paul, father of Senator Paul, told the Gold Telegraph in an interview released Saturday. But who knows, or who owns the reserves, quote, is a question because there's a lot of borrowing and gimmickry that goes on, continued the elder Paul, who has long supported a Fort Knox audit, introducing a Gold Reserve Transparency Act to the House floor in 2011. If you're asking why the gold is held at Fort Knox, Forbes reports the U.S. Bullion Depository was built in the 1930s as a need for a centralized, secure location for much of the government's bullion emerged. Its Kentucky location was due to concerns that the existing reserves along the East Coast were more susceptible to foreign attack. With Europe on the precipice of war from 1941 to 44, the facility held the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence.
Interesting.
I did not know that. You wanna read us out here on the results, Ethan? I know it's very close.
It is very close. 254 votes on today's YouTube live chat poll. Is the gold at Fort Knox? 255 now, and that just changed to the percentage.
I don't think I voted yet, and I'm gonna say yes. There's gold there.
Okay. Here it is, 255
Do the
votes.
calculations in your head, Ethan.
49%
Add it in.
say yes.
49.
51% say no.
I will leave the poll up until we wrap the show here if it's going to get teetered into one way or the other. Either way, Donald Trump adding this to the conspiracies of things that he is willing to just dive into to get to the actual truth. I don't know the ramifications of there not being gold. Like you said, it would be very bad if that were the case. And that reporter asked him, well, where would it have gone? There's a lot of...
Yeah, and I don't know if it would be bad for confidence or for underlying economics or because there's fraud then. I don't know why it's bad. It would clearly be bad.
I think it could be any and all of those things that we would have to uncover. Well, we appreciate you being with us here today. A reminder that the Annie Fry Show has podcasts up. Wherever you get your podcast from, if you type in Annie Fry Show, F-R-E-Y, you can get those. You can also go to anniefryshow.com/podcast to get those podcasts. And you can listen to us on the Odyssey app. AUDACY, download that app and stream the station. 97.1 FM Talk comes in crystal clear anywhere you have a signal on your phone. And you can keep us streaming on 97.1 FM Talk on the Odyssey app or on 97.1 FM for the Mark Reardon Show coming up next.
And I got bad tattoos you won't believe. So kick out the jams, kick up the soul. Pour another glass of that rock and roll. Turn up the band, find the hole. Gonna lose control tonight. What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6986. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6986. That's 800-575-6986. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
You know, my kids are probably like everybody else's, and I'm the same way too, where if I eat any meat especially, I always want sauce on it. I like ketchup. The kids do. They like barbecue sauce. Andrea sells barbecue sauce. We love that. But when we make something, whether we're cooking it on the grill or in the oven, and we've put Andrea sauce on it or have it sit in Andrea sauce ahead of time, the kids don't really want sauce on it because it makes the meat so good that it's got its own taste. So yes, Andrea's is a sauce, but it's not used the same way as your typical sauces. You use it while cooking. It's a brush-on steak sauce. And I love to think that we're just around the corner from grilling season, although, man, it is cold today. But get a bottle of Andrea's steak sauce because it is made right here in the St. Louis area. And their barbecue sauce, their salad dressing, also great, but they are famous for their steak sauce. The White House gets a case of it every year and has since the Reagan administration. You need to get a bottle of Andrea's steak sauce at andreas.com.
Does the state of this economy have your head spinning? Let GregHammonds.com relieve one burden, health insurance. Greg Hammonds at GregHammonds.com specializes in under 65 health insurance plans that have zero copays and no deductibles. You choose your doctors and hospitals.